Mr. Lahey, is this you talking or the liquor?
Randy. I am the liquor. Not so much to be the character, but more to be in the moment, to take a look at the given circumstances, to use one's imagination, and to make choices, to use your imagination and to divine the magic if.
Every story is a competition. Characters compete not just for power or love or survival within the world of the narrative, they compete for the most finite resource a story has to offer, our attention. Now, the protagonists hold most of our attention by default, and every other character must find ways to pull focus back toward themselves. Sometimes this manifests as comic disruption.
Yeah.
Man, cut, Ray. Truck driving, passed out Phantom 309 motherfucker.
Sometimes through villainous behavior.
Ricky.
But beneath it all is the human desire to be seen and heard.
I know what it's like if parents fucking leave on you, you know what I mean? One day they're there and you wake up and you're all by your fucking self for the rest of your fucking life. Living in a fucking shed and wondering what the fuck happened to your parents.
Sometimes the less we know about what a character is doing, the more desperate that character becomes, fighting to be the center of the audience's attention once again. On some level, the character knows that the story is not theirs, and refusing to be forgotten, these characters will employ some overt theatrics to get our attention once again, possibly even having some consequential effects on the rest of the story.
You guess who I'm gonna shoot first. Will it be you, Rick?
No.
Or will it be me?
Yeah.
You?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
There is something quietly tragic about this dynamic, about needing to act out, possibly even act out of character, or make a fool of themselves just to be seen again.
Car paid for, cash. Trailer paid for, cash. For years, Ricky and Julie been fucking with us, man. They're always hard on Trevor. So you know what? It feels damn good. We jacked their money, and now I have no time or candy for them bitches, man, because they play themselves. Those guys wanted to buy the trailer park? Well, fuck them. We bought the trailer park. Now we're players, and we're cool.
Characters are simply at the mercy of those writing them and those listening to their stories. And this brings up an interesting set of questions. Who gets to decide which stories are told, and how do we, the audience, determine which characters deserve our sympathy? How do you even tell apart the good guys from the bad guys? When we ask these questions, I guess what we're really asking is, who did the story choose to show us, and who does it leave out?
If the cops pull you over, we don't know you, we know nothing about what's going on, we'll have to say you stole the car. If it comes down to that, blame it on your dummies.
Yeah, totally.
Friends?
Forever.
But all of this raises a deeper question about how stories shape our feelings in the first place. One literary critic named Wayne Booth had some thoughts on the subject. In his book titled The Rhetoric of Fiction, he argued that when we engage with a story, there's two versions of you that exist. The first is the actual you, the person you are shaped by the sum of your experiences. The second is the implied you, the version of yourself that enters the story. This version of you agrees, whether consciously or unconsciously, to play by the story's rules, which often means suppressing one's skepticism, accepting what the story tells you, and feeling what the story wants you to feel.
What's the matter?
I just don't feel too good about myself right now. My clothes are all shitty, and living in a car growing dope. I don't have my grade 10 yet, and I feel stupid. I just wish I could be smart like everybody else for a change.
But that choice, which we experience as natural and even instinctive, is not really ours. It has already been made for us through selective narrative structure, camera placements, and even by choosing whose interiority we're given access to at any given moment.
A friggin' muscle spasm in my back, you know, gears slipped, air brakes were shot to hell. I mean, there's nothing I could do. Boom, right into the post office.
Did he mention he was fucking wasted out of his goddamn mind?
Some guys can drink and drive, some guys can't.
So by the time you form an opinion about a character, the story has already done most of the work for you.
Sam's a caveman and he's a dick.
And that makes you guys dicks because you're promoting him.
He's gonna give us homemade hot dogs when we're finished putting the signs up.
I'm gonna give you some homemade fuck-offs right now.
So when you're asked to sympathize with a character, you're essentially being asked to make a judgment, and all judgments are subject to manipulation. Stories quietly do that manipulating on our behalf, steering our emotions before we even have a complete picture.
Once I start that truck, I'm on the fucking clock, okay? So sign it so I can get started.
I'm not signing shit. Why don't you go back and pave your cave, you fucking caveman?
The fuck you call me?
Well, you are a caveman, Sam.
Yeah, fucking caveman.
And so the question of who deserves our sympathy is inseparable from the question of who gets to decide which stories are told and from whose vantage point. Every narrative is, as Wayne Booth argued, an ethical act. He writes, "When human actions are formed to make an artwork, the form that is made can never be divorced from the human meanings, including moral judgments that are implicit whenever human beings act." When a story chooses to censor a particular character, it validates their humanity, and when it ignores a character, it pushes them to the margins, making their humanity optional.
Let's go, Randy, back in the car. You heard, lady. Everybody move out.
Everything's cool here, Jim.
Everything is not cool here, Julian. You boys are fucking up big time.
To extend sympathy to the wrong character, the one the narrative is marked as the villain or the drunk, requires actively pushing back against the narrative itself. The characters we laugh at are not inherently less worthy of our sympathy, they've simply been framed that way, and the line between a hero and an antagonist is often nothing more than a change in the lens through which we view them.
All I ever wanted was a little bit of order in the park, Randy. Make it a nice place to live. One day you're a cop. One day they take it all away from you. Fucked up.
Trailer Park Boys makes a deliberate structural choice that most shows do not. It grants the audience interiority into not just its protagonists, but many of its side characters as well.
I shot my daddy in the bum, and Mommy's gonna get mad at me. He's funny.
By allowing us access into the inner lives of the characters that the show might otherwise use purely as obstacles or punchlines, it opens up the possibility of feeling genuine sympathy for those characters, but also blurs the line between who is a hero and who is a villain.
Ricky is so abusive to Corey and Trevor. It's really sad to see. I mean, even before I liked them, I noticed. He was always making them cry and shit.
Sarah, come on, don't tell them that.
Jim Lahey, who was portrayed by the late great Canadian actor John Dunsworth, is a perfect example of this dynamic. Mr. Lahey is no stranger to the theatrics and often delivers some of the best dramatic performances in the show. In his role, he serves as Sunnyvale Trailer Park's formal authority figure as trailer park supervisor, a role that, on top of all the other external forces on the park, brings a great deal of stress to him and his companion Randy, who was portrayed in the show by Canadian actor Patrick Roach. As a former police officer, Mr. Lahey brings much of the same training and tactics in his approach to supervising the trailer park, often going beyond the typical scope of work that one would expect from this type of role, which is much more about managing the day-to-day of the park and less about enforcing the law.
This means that before we proceed with our investigation, you may call any lawyer you wish. Jim, please.
Yeah, fuck off, Lahey.
Although he positions himself as Sunnyvale's lawman, Mr. Lahey's authority is actually quite limited. He conducts his own investigations on Ricky and Julian's illegal activities, but lacks any legal authority to enforce consequences, forcing him to rely on real police officers to carry out justice. These police officers are usually incompetent and lack Lahey's passion and approach, often leaving him frustrated and humiliated in the process.
Let's talk about stupid, Jim. I'm going to put this in a way that even someone like you can understand. Remember the story of the little boy who cried wolf? In case you forgot, he was a little boy who cried for help because he said there was a wolf after him. Each time the people of the village came running, and each time there was no wolf. Eventually, they got really tired of it. So when he calls for help because there's a real wolf after him, nobody takes him seriously. Nobody comes because nobody cares. Do you see where I'm going with this, Jim?
Now, this dynamic is played for comedy throughout the series, but underneath it is something genuinely tragic. The justice system that Lahey reveres and gives his entire life to upholding is the very same system that destroyed his life many years ago, long before the show began.
I remember Halloween 1977. Like it was yesterday. I remember everything about that night.
Well, I didn't even smoke dope back in 77, so I can tell you exactly what happened on Halloween.
I remember Halloween 1977 perfectly.
We dressed up as people from Star Wars, and I remember Julian copied off me. I don't even remember what I dressed up as, Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or something, but Julian copied off me. Bubbles was the gold guy, I remember that.
I had my C-3PO outfit on. I remember the way the moon was gleaming off the gold. I just wanted to get candy, and Julian was on the liquor. I mean, we were only kids, but he was still driving liquor into him. And
so then we see Lahey coming home. He just got off duty, parked his car, got out. Ricky decides he wants to fuck over his cop car.
Bubbles or Julian, I can't remember which one. It's probably Julian, but I think it was Bubbles said, let's go mess around with this cop car over here.
Julian had the idea. He wanted to get into some mischief, I remember is what he called it. And he wanted to go push Lahey's car, put it out of gear and see where it would roll to.
They put the car out of gear and started pushing it.
And it picked up way more speed than they thought it would, and it crashed right into a fucking trailer. I remember thinking, oh my God, now we did it.
And Lahey, he was a cop back then. It was his car. He ran out. And all he wanted was to take Julian's liquor because Julian was drinking big time back then. And Julian fought him for it, and liquor ended up getting spilled all over Lahey in his uniform. And he finally got the liquor, got back to his car, and was trying to get his car unstuck from the trailer and reversing, and liquor spilled all over his crotch. And
next thing you know, George Green shows up, and he was Lahey's partner.
He's the stupidest cop there is, and thought Lahey was drunk, pissed himself. And it did look like he was drunk and pissed himself, but he wasn't drunk, and I don't think he even pissed himself at all. So it was a misunderstanding. And
started saying, now listen, George, this isn't what it looks like. And George told him he was drunk, and as they started arguing, all that did was make Lahey look more drunk and crazy than he actually was back then. And next thing, Lahey's under arrest, and it was our fault.
Came down to two choices, and Lahey, well, he resigned. But I just can't believe that Julian Bubbles, they ruined Mr. Lahey's life.
He lost his career, he lost his marriage, went down the tubes, and he lost his mind.
Mr. Lahey used to be nice back then, and we turned him into a drunk, crazy lunatic.
While Bubbles and Julian acknowledge their role in what happened that night, one has to remember that they were just kids at the time. They did not cost Lahey his career, the system did that. The justice system that Lahey had dedicated his professional life to serving looked at a fellow officer of the law and drew the fastest available conclusion. No investigation, no due process, not even the basic courtesy of administering a breathalyzer test.
But you did not administer a breathalyzer.
Well, based on the situation at hand, I didn't see the need. He pissed himself. He was soaked in alcohol.
George, I told you, and you can see it on the tape, liquor was inadvertently spilled in my groin area.
He was your partner. You couldn't give him the benefit of the doubt?
He was my partner, but he pissed himself.
Yeah, from what I've just seen, it doesn't look like you were doing your job very well, Officer Green. It does not look like you were doing your job very... You pissed yourself!
The events on that Halloween night marked the beginning of Mr. Lahey's descent into madness. When he lost his badge, he lost his sense of self, his identity, his authority, and his purpose. This is Lahey's peripeteia, or the reversal of fortune that tragic narratives place at the center of its hero's stories, and it happens before the first episode of Trailer Park Boys even begins.
Lahey.
People who deal drugs when they're on probation, Julian, go back to jail. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Calm down for a minute, all right? You're not a cop anymore.
You want to search
Don't you ever talk to me about being a cop again, you hear me?
Search
Lahey.
this.
Jesus.
By the time that we meet Mr. Lahey again many years later, his tragic downfall is already complete, and we're introduced to a man trying to find himself in the wreckage of his own life in the only place he still has any power left at all, Sunnyvale Trailer Park. Perhaps the most tragic thing of all is that by the time that we meet Mr. Lahey again, he's become the exact same thing he was falsely accused of being on that Halloween night in 1977.
I beg your pardon. I was only a real cop. I was never an important mall cop like you, Rick.
Knock, knock.
Who's there, Rick?
Somebody.
Somebody who?
Somebody whose ex-wife owns a fucking trailer park. It's the only reason you got the job as trailer park supervisor. You got fired from the police force because you fucked up big time, but we're not going to talk about that, are we? And now you're going to get fired from this job because you're nothing but a drunk fucking idiot. You can't even run the trailer park. You're drunk right now. I can smell the fucking liquor on you from here.
One has to wonder what may have happened if things had gone differently that Halloween night, say someone other than George Green had responded to the scene, or if George Green had simply done his job correctly. Would Lahey have become the crazy drunk trailer park supervisor that we've come to know him as? Is this the fate that he was always destined for?
Hey, Julian, how long do you think it'll take your little cop girlfriend to realize you can't change the spots on a shit leopard?
Fuck off with your shit talk, Lahey.
The tension that exists between destiny and self-fulfilling prophecy lies at the heart of one of Shakespeare's plays, The Tragedy of Macbeth, where the mere suggestion of how someone's future ought to be may turn out to be the very force that brings it to fruition. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this play, definitely give it a read, but to summarize it, it goes something like this. Shortly after defeating 2 invading armies in battle, Macbeth and his buddy Banquo encounter 3 witches while out on a stroll. The 3 witches tell Macbeth that he's destined to be King of Scotland and that Banquo's future kid will one day take the throne as well. Macbeth, who is driven by his ambition and influenced by his wife, Lady Macbeth, sets out to murder his current ruler, King Duncan, and take his crown. Consumed by the paranoia of the second half of the witch's prophecy, Macbeth orders Banquo to be killed to prevent his future kid from taking the throne. He also orders the death of Banquo's son, but he's able to escape.
What the fuck?
One night, Macbeth is visited by an apparition of Banquo, making him spiral, and out of fear, he seeks out the 3 witches once again. The witches give Macbeth 3 new prophecies, each of which he interprets in ways that lead to further violence, further destruction, and ultimately his own downfall at the hands of the people that he once wronged. Now, Macbeth was only told that he would one day be the King of Scotland, but at no point did the witches suggest that he had to kill someone to do it. He was only given a prophecy. In theory, he could have just waited it out, and at one point, this thought actually does cross his mind. He says,
"If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir."
But this is just an afterthought. His gut reaction, his immediate instinct, is more sinister. Referring to the 3 witches' prophecy, he tells us,
"This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why has it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise."
Now, Macbeth's mind arrives at murder because this is the quickest and easiest path to the throne and to fulfill his prophecy. His strong ambitions are ready to make him act drastically and do whatever it takes to get him what he wants.
Ricky! Green bastard! You are both disqualified!
Prophecies have the capacity to reveal true intent and true nature. They don't create our worst qualities, they only reveal them. The prophecy given to Macbeth does not make him a murderer, it only sets the path in motion, and it gives his darkest impulses a justification before reason had any chance to intervene.
Yeah, when I get out, I want to do 3 things. I want to fix up the park, have a little drink, just celebratory.
Yeah.
And I want to kill Ricky.
Mr. Lahey's just joking about killing Ricky, right, Mr. Lahey?
Yeah. Yeah. Just joking about that. You're right, Randy.
Now take Jim Lahey. George Green's accusation of him being a drunk on Halloween night 1977 is actually much more than that. Functionally, it's a prophecy of Lahey's circumstance. It didn't create the need for control, his obsessive qualities, nor whatever alcoholic tendencies he carried, but what it did do is reveal whatever darkness already existed within.
You heard from McFuck lately, Jules?
Shut up, Lahey.
No problem, Jules. Just let me say, Ricky's dream world's about to turn into a nightmare. Payback time for 9 months in jail. Maybe today, Julian. Maybe tomorrow, but Ricky's going down. I don't forgive and I don't...
Jim, I'm serious. Don't talk to me.
Before that Halloween night, whatever darkness Mr. Lahey carried had no particular shape. After that night, the shape was fixed, and the drinking, along with his obsessive personality, had something to target. Someone has to answer for the injustices that he suffered.
Smokey! Fuck! What the fuck?
And like with Macbeth, the questions that the audience is left with are, would Macbeth have become a murderer without the 3 witches? Would Lahey have become the man we know today without George Green's prophecy? Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, actually gives us some pretty good insight into this question.
Lambs thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, ought not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it.
And it's not that Macbeth is incapable of killing. We know that he's a battle-hardened combat veteran, and one of the first glimpses we're given into him is someone's war story in which they witness Macbeth slicing a guy in half with his sword. So what exactly pushes Macbeth from merely thinking about killing King Duncan to actually committing murder? Well, in both cases, the decisions that Macbeth and Lahey make are not always made alone. They're often conspired and encouraged by others. In Macbeth's case, his wife, Lady Macbeth, shares her husband's ambition to become king, but knows that he lacks the stomach to act accordingly, basically degrading his masculinity and goading him into fixing it by forcefully taking the throne. In Trailer Park Boys, Randy, whose loyalty to Lahey rarely raises any meaningful objections, essentially becomes his enabler and lets things escalate well beyond any of their control.
I got something to tell you.
Oh, yeah, what is it, Randy? We're not cops? I already knew that. I'm going to break the boys out right now. You try to stop me, I fucking dare you.
Relax, Bubbles. Everything's getting way out of control here.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm calling the cops in. Right now, the real cops, Randy. Not the crazy, fake, trailer park, drunk, fat, crazy cops.
But I believe that in order to fully understand the enigma that is Jim Lahey, as well as the complicated dynamic he shares with Randy, we need to move beyond isolated moments and examine how both characters evolve over the course of all 7 Clattenburg seasons. What we find may even surprise you.
Lee, this is fucked.
I know, Ricky, I know it's fucked. That's why you're the only one with the mind fucked up enough to figure this out and help me save Randy.
That may be true, but you forget I don't give a fuck about you and Randy?
Our introduction to Lahey and Randy in Season 1 is entirely unique, but not for the reasons you'd expect. We're shown the obsession-driven Jim Lahey clinging on to the little bit of power he has as trailer park supervisor and his eternal fixation with putting Ricky and Julian in jail.
Ricky and Julian? Well, for the most part, they're responsible for ruining this trailer park. Used to be peaceful and quiet here. You know, what gets me most is all the young kids look up to him. I mean, I got kids flying around here, throwing bottles at people, growing dope, squealing tires, jumping motorcycles over trailers, the list goes on. And I've been park supervisor here for going on 16 years. I've seen it all. But those two, particularly Ricky, they're the worst.
But what sets it apart, and what we're only shown in one other season later on, is a largely rational and coherent Jim Lahey. We're not shown any of the on-camera drinking and reckless behavior that we expect from him later on. In fact, there's really only one scene that I can remember where Lahey is around the bottle.
This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take this tape, and then I'm gonna take a few of your little goodies down here on the table.
Aside from that scene, the only indication we're given of his struggles with alcohol are from the other characters who will sometimes reference the fact that he was fired from the police force for drinking.
And you could teach how to get drunk, get fired from the police force, become a lousy trailer park supervisor that sucks, hangs around with a fucking idiot, doesn't wear a shirt and looks like a dick, thinks he looks good, 101.
But we're not really shown any of that crazy behavior yet. Season 1 sets the scene for Lahey's inflated worldview, showing us how he views himself as a legitimate authority figure in the park, even using the same language and tactics that real police officers use.
Open liquor, Ray.
He's on his own property. Get
Randy,
the fuck out of here.
We got a 10:35 here. I'm gonna have 10:93 immediately.
Ironically, we also begin to see just how limited Lahey's powers are, as he can only materially threaten Ricky and Julian and the other residents of the park with fees or expensive law tests. A good example showing how limited his powers are is when the park is threatened by Cyrus. Lahey is too afraid to do anything to him and relies on Julian to handle the problem.
Kiss my hand.
Do it.
All right. Fuck off. I got work to do.
It also sets the stage for the dynamic between him and Randy, who will sometimes try to keep Lahey calm and prevent him from doing something he may regret.
I gotta call the cops. There's a potential shootout gonna be happening in the trailer park tonight, and I'm gonna call in the heavies.
You know, that's really unfair, Mr. Lahey. Julian's on probation. He could go back to jail for a really long time.
Julian's on probation. Cyrus isn't. Cyrus will kill me.
But ultimately enables Lahey's motivations.
Get out of the way. Listen. Stop it!
In the first 2 episodes, Lahey and Randy are trying to convince the recently released Julian not to leave the park, at least not without taking Ricky as well. At first, Lahey tries to exert his authority by telling him there will be legal consequences if he leaves, but with the help of Randy, decides instead to approach diplomatically, offering to waive some of his lot fees if he will stay in the park. Julian agrees to this.
We're willing to waive your trailer site rental fees, $1,600, if you'll consider not leaving this park and leaving us alone here with Ricky.
Meanwhile, Ricky, who's been living in Julian's car since he got out of jail, is trying to get his life back together so that he can win back his baby mama, Lucy. Ricky believes that the only way to get his life back together is to start growing weed again, which we're told was his most profitable venture before going to jail.
Before Ricky went to jail, he had a huge setup. I mean, it was a kick-ass hydroponic operation. 200 plants. He supplied everybody. You know, even Lahey was buying dope off him. It was that good.
Unfortunately, Ricky doesn't have any money to buy growing equipment and has squandered any goodwill he has left with the person who can provide the equipment for him, leaving him to alternative methods of fundraising.
You want to make some Skrilla, you pop by my crib. I'll tell you how to make all kinds of money. I'm serious, too.
In order to raise the money needed to purchase the growing equipment, he decides to star in one of J-Rock's porn flicks alongside Bubbles. This causes a moral dilemma for him as he feels that starring in this film would be unfair to Lucy, and he doesn't want her finding out about it. The guilt he is feeling leaves him unable to perform the role that he was hired for.
Ricky, let's get in there, man. Don't ruin this for me.
I'm not gonna ruin it for you, Bubbles. It's just I keep thinking about Lucy, and I got these guys on working cameras.
I don't get that many chances, know what I'm saying? I don't get that many chances. Let's go.
J-Rock tells Ricky that he will still pay him if he agrees to do a different role, but Lahey and Randy show up just in time to J-Rock's trailer and crashes their set, confiscating all of the footage that was recorded.
Now the property, the Sunnyvale Trailer Park security. Have a nice evening, everybody. Randy, let's go.
Ricky confronts Mr. Lahey about the tape, and Lahey uses it to blackmail him.
You don't want Lucy to see that tape, do you, Ricky?
What are you talking about? You fucking around with me?
Time to move on, Ricky. Unless you're out of Sunnyvale by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, everyone in the park's going to see that tape, including Lucy, and that'd be kind of embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Ricky calls Julian and tells him that he and Bubbles are planning on murdering Mr. Lahey, forcing Julian to intervene to prevent them from doing something stupid.
And I'm basically probably going to kill Mr. Lahey, and I'm thinking about killing Randy as well, and I'm going to take the porno tape back. I've talked to Bubbles about it. He's probably going to give me a hand because we both can't have this tape floating around.
Julian breaks into Lahey's trailer to retrieve the tapes, walking in on him and Randy engaging in sexual intercourse. Julian promises to keep their situation a secret in exchange for the tape, which he does.
I don't know what you guys think is going on here, but Randy and I are practicing for a play at the...
Lahey, I'm not judging anybody here, all right? Okay?
Julian, who is also trying to get his life back together after his latest stints in jail, realizes that in order for him to move on, he's going to have to take care of Ricky, who can't seem to get his life together at all. The only way to get Ricky off his back is to get him to marry Lucy, but he still doesn't have a steady source of income and certainly doesn't have any money to purchase a wedding ring. Julian helps Ricky land a job as a garbage truck operator, and he helps him steal a ring so that he can ask Lucy to marry him. Ricky does, and she agrees.
Do you love me?
Lucy, I love you so much. So what do you think? Would you want to get married to me?
Okay.
On the day leading up to their wedding, Lucy phones Julian to inform him that no preparations have been done for the wedding, not even a plan for the food they want to serve. On such a short deadline and still needing to throw a bachelor party for Ricky, Julian decides to get two birds stoned at once. He throws a bachelor party for Ricky, planning to get him drunk and passed out so they can rob a grocery store for the food without Ricky getting in trouble. Julian doesn't tell him that this was part of the plan, and Ricky, who wakes up out of a drunken haze from the backseat of the car, shows up during the robbery with no mask on and gets into a shootout with Corey, Trevor, and Bubbles, not knowing it's his friends the whole time.
Just came in here for smokes. What the hell's going on?
Sorry, dude, man. Didn't know.
You're stupid. You're stupid. You're a fucking idiot.
The fucking gun's broken.
You could have killed me over there.
It's broken.
The fuck?
They steal the food, shoot the camera, and leave. Back at the park, now on the day of the wedding, Lahey tells Randy he has a special gift to deliver to Ricky personally.
Today's a very special day. Ricky's wedding day. I'm going to give him a special wedding present, hand-delivered personally.
A detective named Ted Johnson visits Ricky before the ceremony and asks Ricky some vague questions about the activities going on around the park, likely without enough evidence to act, but just enough to signal that something is coming.
We'll see you soon, Rick.
And what do you mean by that?
Precisely what I said. That's why I chose the words.
And as the wedding begins, the police arrive and arrest Ricky while he and Lucy are performing their vows for one another. Julian, feeling the guilt of the previous night's grocery heist, fires his gun into the air and is taken to jail as well. Lucy is left at the altar, Trinity is left without her father, and the wedding that was supposed to be the season's moments of resolution becomes its site of destruction. Now the timing here matters. Ted Johnson could have arrested Ricky earlier in the day, but he didn't. The arrest happens at the wedding, at the worst possible moment, in front of everyone Ricky loves, on the biggest day of his life. Lahey doesn't have the power to order an arrest, but you can certainly bet that he provided the evidence that made it possible. The timing here suggests something beyond professional duty. This was not a man upholding the law, this was someone waiting for the right moment to deliver maximum damage. Season 1 Jim Lahey is frightening in the way that the later seasons hide beneath comedy and chaos. In this season, he's controlled, he's patient, he's operating with deliberate intent. The drinking has not yet become the mechanism that causes him to make mistakes and ruins his life. What Season 1 gives us is the darkness that exists inside of Mr. Lahey in its most voluntary form.
Sent Randy on a routine noise complaint. Probably Ricky working on that car of his. Guess where? Buddy Julian's. I'm gonna get Ricky today. I got a feeling.
When we're introduced to Lahey again in Season 2, we're now shown a shell of a man that he once was. Ricky and Julian are released from prison, and when they arrive back at Sunnyvale, they find it in a deplorable state. There's trash everywhere, there's cars on fire, and Lahey is seen stumbling the streets drunk. We learn that Lahey and Randy have undergone a separation, and he's stopped working for Lahey. Randy is now together with Lucy and living in her trailer, which leads Ricky to obtain honest employment at the mall to win her back.
Back off. I don't work for Lahey. Leave. You're trespassing.
You don't even have a fucking job. Lucy, come on. He doesn't even have a job.
Hit the road, Ricky.
The separation hasn't just affected his professional performance, it's removed the one stabilizing force in his life, and without it, the little bit of willpower that Lahey had of maintaining order and some rationality has now completely subsided. The drinking, which was hidden from us in the previous season, is now on full display.
I was unaware that I had an appointment with you fine people today. It turns out that I have another engagement. I plan to get drunk. Thank you.
The park's physical deterioration is a direct reflection of Lahey's internal state, and his domain, his kingdom of Sunnyvale, is now going to be challenged. The residents who are now fed up with Lahey's performance as trailer park supervisor decide to hold an election to replace him, for which Sam Losco, the veterinarian, offers himself up for consideration.
I wanted you to know what Sam Losco was all about.
Right, good.
Mrs. Lahey, I love this trailer park, and I want to make it the best trailer park in the entire world.
Julian, knowing that Sam Lasco as supervisor would bring an entirely new set of challenges for their criminal operations, decides to help Lahey win his re-election and also break up Lucy and Randy so that he and Lahey can get back together.
Why don't you go down to this election today, make an appearance, show him some support?
I can't. I got to do the dishes and I vacuum.
Randy, no, you've got to be there in person, okay? Lahey's a mess.
Oh, but Julian, I got to do the kitty litter.
Randy, Lahey needs you, okay?
Now facing an uphill battle to re-elect the struggling Jim Lahey due to his poor approval ratings, the boys try to draw more attention to the race, so they invite a local news crew to cover it on television, allowing each candidate to plead their case before their electorate.
What are your thoughts on the incumbent in this election?
On the what?
The incumbent.
What are you doing using your big school words? Just use normal people words and I'll understand what you're talking about.
Just before Sam is set to give a speech, the boys slip mushrooms into his hot dogs, causing him to have a gaffe on stage and ruining his chances of winning.
I'll look at Ricky's ass after you... No. You get that lawnmower.
You're on fucking drugs.
Sam's on drugs, everybody.
Nobody can understand what you're saying.
Lahey, who shows up to his speech intoxicated, crashes his car into a fence and is about to be arrested by the police before Ricky and Julian convince him to let him deliver the speech.
Well, actually, the way I see it, guys, there's a pretty good chance you and the city could be sued over this if you take him away right now and ruin the election. Look at the mind's been spinning around here.
Lahey gives an impassioned speech in which he reveals his true feelings about the park and its residents and Randy.
Well, who doesn't have problems with the people they love? Randy. Everybody. And I apologize for my neglect of the things that are most important to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because this park is the most important thing in my life, and it always will be, and so will all of you. Because this is our home, this is our community. I am Jim Lahey, and I am your trailer park supervisor.
Lahey wins his re-election, wins back Randy, once again establishing dominion over the trailer park. With Randy now beside him again, the Jim Lahey from Season 1 resurfaces. We find out this season that Lahey has a daughter named Trina, who is portrayed by Canadian actor Elliot Page, of whom he shares custody with his ex-wife and owner of Sunnyvale Trailer Park, Barbara Lahey. Trina takes an interest in Ricky because she thinks that he's cool, and Ricky, who's in pain over his daughter moving away temporarily, hangs out with her to fill the void. He and Julian are also back in business together, growing marijuana in an old Airstream trailer, which Julian received in exchange for getting Randy and Lahey back together in their earlier episode. At one point, Trina overhears Ricky arguing with Julian over money, asking for some cash to buy new clothes. She feels bad for Ricky and goes to the store to buy him a new pair of pants and some pepperoni to make him feel better, but doesn't have enough money at the store to cover it. She finds Corey and Trevor, who are loitering outside of the store, and they make a deal with Trina to spot her the cash she needs, pawning her personal bike as collateral. Lahey, who's secretly been watching his daughter's movements, confronts them outside during the deal and learns that Trina is buying these items for Ricky, using her own money and items to pay for them, which enrages him.
Would you like to make a statement, Trina?
No.
Why do Corey and Trevor have your bike? Did they threaten you?
No. I pawned it off to them. I needed a little extra cash. And stop with the cop stuff.
What's this for? Who's the shirt for, Trina?
Yeah, who's pepperoni?
It's Ricky's.
Ricky's pepperoni. You're grounded. Indefinitely. Go back to the trailer. I warned you about hanging out with those losers.
Dad, they're not losers.
Ricky and Julian across the line this time, Randy.
Lahey uses this story as cover and comes up with an elaborate plan to confront Ricky and Julian.
You cross the line this time, you little fucker.
Get your fucking hands off me, Lahey. You wanna
How dare you involve my daughter in your hemisphere of shit?
Let's go, Lahey. Let's go, Lahey. My last good trick. You just ripped it again, you asshole.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting warmed up. Get back in the car, Randy.
Mr. Lahey, no, you're way out of control here.
Get back in the car, you disobedient fat bastard.
No, I won't get back in the car. You know what?
I quit. Go fuck yourself, Mr. Lahey. Two-way, brute.
Relax, man.
Later on, the recently unemployed Randy, who is now mysteriously wearing a shirt, tries to befriend Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles, but is met with resistance due to his previous associations with Mr. Lahey. To try to get their guard down, Randy performs a series of challenges, including pissing on Lahey's car, all in an effort to win their trust. Randy flies a little too close to the sun and blows his cover by asking about the location of Ricky and Julian's marijuana growing operation. Just then, we hear some radio interference coming from Randy's body, and Julian forces him to take off his shirt, revealing that he'd been wearing a radio the whole time he's been pretending to be unemployed.
What the hell is that? See, boys? Fake piss apparatus. Never trust a man with no shirt on.
Lahey comes out of the shadows and tells the boys he's called the cops for them to search Ray's trailer located at 1 Bonneview. Knowing there's not enough time to move the stuff, the boys pull a desperate but clever Hail Mary attempt to escape police scrutiny. They change the street sign and the number on Ray's trailer from 1 Bonneview to 3 Maple Lake. Fortunately for them, George Green arrives at the scene and immediately falls for their trick, and once again, Lahey's made to look stupid in front of everyone by the same police officer that ruined his life.
What's going on, officer?
Oh, maybe you can tell me, Jim. Where's 1 Bonneview?
This is 1 Bonneview.
No, it's not. This is 3 Maple Lake.
It's a big 3 up there.
This is 1 Bonneview, George.
Check the street sign. It says Maple Lake, and
You
that's
be
the number
quiet.
3.
George,
You be quiet.
they changed the sign. They changed the number, George.
That's not true.
I can't believe you're falling for this
They
shit.
changed it, guys.
This is...
Oh, we're falling for it.
This is
number
number
one.
one.
I'm
drunk as
supposed to go
fuck,
back to
okay?
the judge,
This
get
is
a new
bullshit.
warrant, come back, say,
This has
oh,
been-
we got
Look,
tricked.
this has been 1 Bonneview for 25, 30 years, George.
What are you talking about, you
You
alcoholic?
be quiet.
But as fate will have it, Lahey doesn't give up. In the final episode, he decides to mess with the boys by moving the location of their Airstream trailer, so him and Randy hook it up to Lahey's SUV, but when they do, the boys arrive to confront them. At the same time, Cyrus, who was fucked over by Ricky as they were taking their grade 10 exam, and Sam, who was fucked over by Julian for helping break up his relationship with Barbara Lahey, arrive at the Airstream trailer to get revenge and start firing shots at them. Bubbles, Ricky, and Julian hop in Lahey's SUV and try to escape the scene, but they crash the trailer near a farm. By some stroke of luck, Bubbles manages to escape jail, but Ricky and Julian are arrested.
This guy's totally innocent. He's a farmer. Came out to help us out of the wreck. He saved our lives. And you guys are going to be sued if you arrest him because he's innocent.
That's right.
This guy.
That's right. I can't see that well. I tripped into that wire. I don't even know what's fucking going on here. There's a helicopter over there. My cows are scared. Everybody can get the fuck off my property.
To seal it all off, Lahey's there to send them off to jail.
Hey, boys. Good luck back in Con College.
Fuck you, Lee. Get this fucking helicopter out of here. Come on, guys. You don't need that right now.
You owe me $500 damage to the Airstream.
Not a problem, Lahey. I'll give it to you as soon as I'm released. Which will be in a little bit, because we didn't do anything wrong. There's no evidence. Nothing happened. We're on a little vacation here, guys. And had a bit of an accident.
This may look like a victory for Lahey, and in a way it is. Ricky and Julian are now back in jail again, and Lahey got what he wanted, but it's not a victory that he engineered. He may have positioned himself to benefit in the end, but in this final episode, his victory was much more of a product of other people's anger as his own scheming. Sure, he got what he wanted, but fate is doing more of the work than he is. The ending to Season 2 for Lahey was simply a stroke of luck, and as we'll come to see, luck can only go so far.
He can't get rid of it. Can he, Mr. Lahey?
Randy, Sam lives in a camper. People who live in campers don't run anything.
Season 3 opens with Lahey in the strongest position he's occupied since before the show began when he was a police officer. His relationship with Randy is strong, and he's coming off the high of the last season where he was present to send Ricky and Julian off to jail. He's even won a public victory against the recently released Ricky in the first episode, making him kiss his bare ass for losing a bet to him and humiliates him in front of the park's residents. For a brief moment, it feels like the balance of power has finally shifted in his favor.
Don't worry about it, Bubs. Appreciate this, thanks. I'm better off without fucking money.
Julian, who has also been recently released from jail, is trying to invest his earnings from last season so that he doesn't end up like Ricky, who's lost all of his earnings over the course of the first episode.
All I want to do is open up a few semi-legit businesses to make money. A
put a lot of work into this, and I mean, I don't want to go back to jail.
Ricky asks Julian for a loan to buy a pound of wheat to flip, but Julian refuses, choosing instead to invest his money in a joint venture with J-Rock and his rock pile, establishing a bootlegging enterprise.
Got a major crime alert here. It's at 10:35. Bootlegging. I want you to handle the arrest. Can you do it? Move.
Meanwhile, Lahey and Randy are having trouble maintaining order of the park, leading to Barbara scolding them for their performance. Randy decides to get snippy with Barbara and gets himself placed on suspension.
The park is a complete mess.
Frig off, Burb.
Frig off?
Yeah, frig off, chill out, back off, mind your own business.
Excuse me, Randy. But if you don't watch it, you're gonna find yourself suspended.
Stand down, Randy.
She can't suspend me.
Right. You're suspended.
Lahey is forced to find a temporary replacement to backfill as his assistant, so he and Randy hold tryouts, the winner of which will win the job.
Bags up, boys. Weigh-in time.
Oh,
Let's go, Trevor.
I didn't know the muffler counted.
Surprisingly, Ricky is chosen for the job.
I can't believe that he would want the job, first of all.
Here the show now sets up an interesting dynamic. It pushes two sworn enemies together and forces them to work with one another. Ricky initially gets off on the wrong foot with Mr. Lahey, showing up to work late.
You got 1 minute, Rick. Tempest Fugget.
Can't you see him in the middle of something? What the fuck does Tempest Fucket mean?
Ignorance is bliss, Rick, when 'tis folly to be wise.
But as time will have it, Ricky begins to fall in line and starts to act more obediently.
What?
Don't forget the dog shit.
I'm not cleaning up dog shit.
You clean up strike 3, Ricky?
Fine, fuck.
The other characters in the park start to notice a difference as well.
You're losing it, buddy.
Why? Because I'm not selling fucking dope and stuff? So sorry. I'm not losing it on my bubbles.
Well, Ricky, I don't know. You're dressed up like Mr. Lahey. I've never seen anything like that.
He made me wear the uniform. It's not my fucking fault.
Ricky, who up to this point seemed to symbolize everything wrong with Sunnyvale, begins to take on the form of Lahey, even dressing and acting like him.
License, registration, insurance, Bubbles. Let's go. Do you have any of that shit? Do you have permits for this? Your fucking cart's going all over the road. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous load. Lahey's freaking out.
Nobody struggles with his change more than Randy, who watches his unworthy replacements neatly fall into the role that he thought he was alone in. Randy is deeply hurt when Lahey hands Ricky his personal walkie-talkie, a symbol of their long-standing relationship.
He's using my walkie, the one you gave me for my birthday. Do you remember that, my birthday?
Randy, it's just a walkie.
It's more than just a walkie, Mr. Lahey.
The tension in this episode peaks when we see Lahey taking off Ricky's shirt as he's believed to be infected by poison ivy. Julian, Bubbles, and Randy are watching it happen from a distance.
You all right, Randy?
The very same fear that he's carried since he was suspended, that Lahey might move on or that he might actually be replaced, appears to him to be confirmed in that moment. Randy does something interesting here. He acts out, but most importantly, he fights for Lahey's attention. Randy reveals Julian's bootlegging operations, and Ricky, who has only just recently discovered this fact, refuses to sell out Julian, who he still feels a great deal of loyalty to despite his new role working for Mr. Lahey. The more that he tries to defend Julian, the guiltier he seems. Julian learns that Lahey is onto him and hides all of his vodka in a kiddie pool next to his trailer. When the police arrive, George Green is unable to find anything illegal, leading to Lahey being humiliated once again.
You bring me out here. Do you think you could have a little something for me next time? Instead of this shirtless circus that's going on? Why don't you get a video camera or something? Do it right.
George, he poured it all down the drain. He was tipped off.
This will come to be the defining pattern for the rest of Season 3, as Lahey often gets close enough to catch the boys in the act, but ultimately slip away in the crucial moments.
Don't stop it! Oh! Randy, get out of there! Get the hell out of here, guys! Ricky, guys, get them! Come on! Come on! Hey!
In episode 3, the boys are running an illegal gas station from gas that Corey and Trevor have been tasked with stealing, setting it up for the residents of the park.
Fuck you!
In order to avoid drawing too much suspicion, Julian comes up with the idea to only sell gas to individuals that have been vetted by Sarah and Lucy, who provide customers with coupons after they perform hair services for them. Lahey, who is always suspicious of something going on in the park, takes George Green's advice and videotapes them during their operations.
Don't look now. For the patch. Boys! Don't look now, but Leahy's over there in the woods with a video camera. Don't look.
Ricky, who's been trying to quit smoking with his daughter, accidentally blows up their operation after becoming dizzy and falling near the pump with a lit cigarette in his mouth. This leads to the arrest of Ricky, Julian, Bubbles, Corey, Trevor, and even J-Rock and T. At their court hearing, the evidence collected by Lahey is used against them, but Ricky shows the rest of the tape, which absolves most of them of responsibility, leaving only Corey and Trevor at fault.
Stealing gas? Why, Corey and Trevor, that's highly illegal. You shouldn't be stealing gas, Corey and Trevor.
That's right. It's fucked up to be stealing gas like Corey and Trevor did, and I don't want anything to do with Corey and Trevor's gas stealing. We wanted nothing to do with it.
Me neither, you know what I'm saying? Only whack suckers like Corey and Trevor steal gas.
Lahey is embarrassed yet again, with victory just within his grasp.
Well, just because these young men have little education and live in squalor doesn't entitle them to commit antisocial behavior and get away with it.
In episode 6, Lahey comes once again within striking distance. At the start of this episode, a confrontation ensues between Ricky and Randy after Randy accuses him of stealing his barbecue. Ricky denies his accusation, but Mr. Lahey doesn't push it further, as doing so would reveal their romantic relationship, which only a handful of people know about.
Oh, come on, Randy, cheer up. It's only a barbecue. I'll get you another one.
You don't get it, do you, Mr. Lahey? I'm tired of living our lives like this.
The boys are running a barbecue remarketing business, and they get the attention of the police after Ricky tries to use a group of his daughter's classmates to steal some barbecues.
No, we can't go to jail. We've learned in school about Youth Justice Act. Kids under 12 can't go to grown-up jail. So we could steal as many barbecues as you want. No jail.
They are detained by Officer Erica Miller, who develops a little crush on Julian.
I thought we were all finished with this investigation.
What are you talking about?
Is there something else going on here?
Are you insinuating that I'm hitting on you? Is that what you're saying?
Want to come in for a drink?
Sure.
Erica lets them go after Julian promises to keep their noses clean.
If I even see that shitmobile on the road again, or you in the driver's seat, or any of you near a barbecue, there will be no warning. Do you understand?
I understand. Listen, I'm ashamed of myself, officer.
And I believe him.
Ricky decides to give Trevor his car to run some errands after Erica prohibits Ricky from driving his car. Trevor crashes the car into Lahey's trailer, trapping Randy underneath the rubble. Julian runs in and saves Randy, who is mysteriously wearing a bumblebee costume.
What in the fuck are you dressed up like a bumblebee for? And what do you look like Indianapolis Jones?
When they are asked about the costumes, Lahey tries to explain that they are practicing for a play, but Randy interjects and forces Lahey to reveal the truth.
Everybody? I'm gay.
Jim, Erica, let's end this with their charges, okay? It was just an accident. Nobody got hurt.
Julian, everybody knows I'm gay.
To me, this is one of the defining moments of the show and a beautiful example of the defining elements of a Greek tragedy. It's no secret to us that Lahey and Randy are in a relationship. We've known this since season 1, and from what I can tell at least, it seems to have been an open secret around the park, as several other characters have alluded to, if not outright said it.
We just get along together, and we work well together, and we were together as a couple for a very short time.
But the revelation of Lahey and Randy's relationship lands with dramatic weight because we've been anticipating it all season. If we look back at Randy's behavior, his wounded reaction to being replaced by Ricky, his fixation on all of Lahey's attention during the suspension, and his fight to reassert himself, all reads in retrospect less like a professional jealousy and more like the anxieties of a partner afraid of being left behind. And what makes the reveal so effective is that when it happens somewhat unexpectedly, and it's not Mr. Lahey doing the reveal, it's Randy who forces it out into the open. Mr. Lahey, who is deeply conscious of his image as the park's authority figure, and whose fatal flaw is control, tries to hide the revelation behind a lie, but ultimately folds under Randy's strength.
It's none of your goddamn business, Ricky. If you must know, Randy and I were rehearsing for a play for the Blandford Recreation Center next Thursday.
Mr. Lahey, we weren't rehearsing for a play.
We were practicing, Randy.
It's not Halloween. We're not doing community theater.
Randy.
We're consenting adults. And what we do in the privacy of our own home is fine, Mr. Lahey.
Randy, please.
And I don't care. I don't care if the whole world knows that we like to get dressed up. We like to have some fun. And that we're a couple. Hey, everybody. We're gay.
What?
Say it, Mr. Lahey. It feels great.
And for a brief moment, Randy, who has been quietly suffering for some time now, putting on a performance to hide his real identity, now holds all of the power. Randy knows that keeping his relationship a secret is only going to give people more power to hold it over their heads. In that moment, he decides to free both himself and Mr. Lahey. The tragedy here isn't the revelation itself. The secret was barely even a secret at all. The real tragedy lies in what comes afterwards, and how each man is left to carry what this moment has uncovered. For Lahey, the wreckage is literal and symbolic all at once. His home is destroyed, his dignity is scattered across the rubble, and Ricky and Julian slip away from him yet again. But the real wound is to his ego. Strip away the carefully maintained facade, and there's going to be very little left holding him together. And for Randy, the calculus is a little bit more complicated. In the moment, forcing the truth out into the open looks like an act of liberation, and perhaps it genuinely is. But freedom, as it turns out, comes with a cost, because whatever Randy has just freed them both from, Lahey's going to need him now, perhaps more than ever.
Well, today's the anniversary of the day Mr. Lahey got kicked off the force, so I'm trying to cheer him up.
In the next episode, the boys are playing street hockey in front of Lahey's trailer when Ricky suddenly hits the ball into the trailer, smashing through Lahey's most prized possession, his old police uniform, which he's kept framed on his living room wall like an old relic. This is the straw that finally pushes Lahey over the edge as he retreats into the fantasy that he's most comfortable in.
Can't deal with this, Randy. Not today.
It's okay, Mr. Lahey. Everything's fine. Let's just go to the liquor store.
Good idea, Randy. I'm getting drunk today. Big time.
Lahey steps out of the trailer wearing the uniform.
Ray! Kojak got a wig on! Ray!
Ray! And a hairpiece, complete with his old police badge. Lahey goes around the park and announces himself as a police officer, saying that the government of Canada has declared Sunnyvale a town and has appointed Lahey and Randy as the sole authority figures.
This envelope contains all the legal documentation. You're all entitled to read it, but I don't advise it because you're all too stupid. Randy and I are now Sunnyvale official policemen. That's right. I'm back.
Initially, Randy tries to raise some objections, but is quickly shot down by Lahey, who is now seen consuming alcohol.
Mr. Lahey, you're taking things way too far, and I'm not comfortable pretending to be a cop.
Pretending? When you keep getting pelted with shitballs, deputy, you gotta get a shit bat.
Meanwhile, the boys decide to steal a bunch of bottles from Trinity School, which they had collected to raise funds to send Trinity on a field trip.
And basically what happened was they said, you know, Trinity's not allowed to go on the trip now. She got caught smoking on school grounds, which is bullshit. So what we said is, fuck that. We're gonna go down there, take those bottles back, because they're ours anyway. Put it towards our own fucking trip.
Lahey pulls over Corey and Trevor and interrogates them, and they spill the beans on what the boys are planning.
Wouldn't sell our boys out.
After all the shit and disrespect they lay on you, you boys would risk imprisonment for those shit idiots? Prison boys?
Ricky stealing bottles from Trinity School today.
Lahey believes that he has put together enough evidence to arrest Ricky and Julian and tries to take matters into his own hands by executing a fake search warrant. They show up at Lucy's trailer, and Lahey begins firing his gun into it, trying to draw Ricky out.
What are you gonna do, Lahey? Shoot me with your toy gun?
Ricky runs to Julian's trailer and tells him and Bubbles that Lahey has lost his mind.
You guys finally drove Lahey completely bananas.
Bubbles tries to distract Lahey and Randy to help them get away.
Yeah, fuck off, Lahey. This is Ricky. I got my hand caught in the sink and I'm fucking stoned, and don't shoot the door, you dick.
Bubbles, is that you?
Ricky and Julian now run to the shipmobile, but it stalls on them, and Lahey catches up to them. After he does, Lahey engages in some casual police brutality and stuns Ricky and Julian with a stun gun. Randy can also be seen participating in the use of the stun gun, even after expressing objections to Lahey's conduct.
You watch your fucking mouth.
Jamie! Mr. Lahey, calm down.
Now realizing that he's lost complete control of the situation, Randy turns to Bubbles to help him get Lahey back under control. Randy sets up a distraction for Lahey, giving Bubbles enough time to free Ricky and Julian, who are now being held captive in a fake jail cell constructed next to Lahey's trailer. Lahey senses that he's being set up and confronts Bubbles outside. As a last measure, Randy uses the stun gun on Lahey, dealing the final blow to his reign on Sunnyvale.
Fucked up.
Randy begs Julian not to incriminate Lahey, and Julian agrees. Erica shows up to ask about the situation, and Julian covers for them.
Jim, why are you in your old police uniform?
We're practicing for a play at the Blandford Recreation Center.
Nice fake. That's a real badge, Jim. I'm gonna have to confiscate that.
No, not my badge.
I'm sorry, Jim. I can't let you wander around drunk impersonating a police officer.
I
Give me
only
the
had
badge.
2 drinks.
In the final scene, Julian is seen returning Lahey's badge.
Got this back for you.
Thanks, Julian.
Just don't put it on. It's gonna be my ass, all right?
Randy, who in the previous episode believed to be liberating Mr. Lahey, is forced to make a difficult decision to save the man that he loves. Although he initially objects to Lahey's conduct, he becomes a willing participant in the chaos. In the final moment of realization, and after previously sacrificing himself to legitimize he and Lahey's relationship, Randy is ironically forced to kill Mr. Lahey's ego in order to save his life. In the final episode of the season, Ricky decides to stage an early Christmas for his daughter after feeling bad for missing all of the other Christmases that he was away in jail for. While they're eating, Lahey shows up with the police and executes an eviction notice, kicking Ricky out of the park.
What the fuck's going on here? I've been waiting a long time for this, boy.
For what?
You know the lease you signed for your lot, Rick?
Yeah?
It said if you made more than 5 Sunnyvale bylaw infractions, you were out on your ass.
But I didn't, so fuck you.
Ricky goes on a crime spree after his eviction and does anything he can to try to get arrested.
Closed for renovations. This is fucked.
Meanwhile, Julian, who is feeling guilty about Ricky's anger, partially due to the fact that he gave away his cruise ticket to his girlfriend Erica, follows him around to stop him from getting arrested.
Oh, fuck back to jail in about 10 minutes.
Holy fuck, have you guys ever tried that dope flavored rum?
Don't flavored rum, where?
It's gonna be cool, Rick.
A backseat.
In the final moments, Ricky steals an ATM machine with the help of Corey and Trevor and drives into Sunnyvale with it. Julian tries to break into it while Lahey and Randy are wrestling with him, and the machine's safety paint explodes, covering all 3 of them in blue paint. In an ironic turn of events, Lahey and Randy are arrested along with Julian. Ricky avoids jail time and becomes the trailer park supervisor in Lahey's absence, with Bubbles by his side as the assistant. Season 3 ends in a familiar place of tragedy, but now it's for Lahey and Randy. Lahey began the season in the strongest position he's been in years and ends it in handcuffs while his sworn enemy has taken his place. Lahey, who is still trying to restore his lost identity, now loses his job, his home, his dignity, and finally his freedom. An equally devastating conclusion belongs to Randy. He forced the truth out into the open, he stood up for his right to love, and even took drastic action to save the man he loved from himself, and still, he ends up in handcuffs beside him. This is the cruel ending to their tragedy. Randy did everything right by Lahey and received the exact same punishment as if he'd done nothing at all. His loyalty wasn't rewarded or even acknowledged by the universe, it was simply absorbed. Unfortunately, this will become a defining pattern as well.
Just give us the goddamn barbecue back, please, Ricky!
Lahey, why don't you go home and have another drink? And you, why don't you put a fucking shirt on? It's disgusting.
Make me, Ricky.
Idiot.
Oh,
Ricky, stay away from me. Just give me my
Put a fucking
barbecue.
shirt on, huh? Put the fucking shirt on, you idiot. How do you like that, huh? You like that, Randy? You fucking asshole.
Ricky!
Season 4 begins with Lahey and Randy at the absolute bottom. They are released from prison from the ATM robbery at the end of season 3 and must return to Sunnyvale on the bus with nothing but groceries in their arms. Before they even have time to settle down, Lahey announces to Julian that he is already plotting his revenge on Ricky.
Just let me say, Ricky's dream world's about to turn into a nightmare. Payback time for 9 months in jail. Maybe today, Julian, maybe tomorrow, but Ricky's going down. I don't forgive and I don't...
Jim, I'm serious. Don't talk to me.
Once they arrive back at Sunnyvale, they go back to their old trailer, the supervisor's trailer, under the impression that they could simply waltz back into their old positions. Unfortunately, Ricky's there to remind them that they no longer have jobs, and as they will become aware, they don't even have a trailer to live in. To make matters worse, Ricky's now the trailer park supervisor, which puts Lahey in a nightmare scenario, being governed by the man that he hates the most.
Look, Jim, I know this is gonna be hard for you guys. I know what it's like. This isn't your trailer, though. You gotta remember that. This is the supervisor's trailer. And since I'm the trailer park supervisor now, that makes it my trailer.
Adding to their delusion, Lahey attempts to declare himself the rightful ruler of Sunnyvale, but Ricky doesn't buy into it.
And that's what I'm saying.
I am Sunnyvale, Ricky.
You were Sunnyvale before you went to jail.
Ricky,
remember that?
You're a
remember jail?
Up. This is our home. You got 1 hour to get out of here. All your stuff, lock, stock, and barrel.
Look, I tried to be fucking nice, okay? I tried to be fucking nice. Randy, get the fuck out.
Get off, Ricky!
Ricky banishes them from the supervisor's trailer out into the wild, but gives them an old car and a lot to live in, which he believes is an act of kindness.
I know what it's like to get out of jail and have nothing. Been there, okay? And I've always believed, do unto others as you do unto you. You've been reallocated to Lot 423. Collect the lot fees first of next month. Take your shit, get the fuck out.
Ricky, first of next month, you're gonna be in jail getting a postcard from me. You might have my job now, Ricky, but I got something you'll never have.
Really? What's that, Lahey?
My grade 11.
Similar to Lahey and Randy, Julian is also released from jail and himself is at rock bottom. He has no money, he has no ride home, and when he arrives back at Sunnyvale, Ricky and Bubbles, who were surprised by Julian's release, take desperate steps to keep him away from his trailer.
Here, man, I'm done.
You didn't eat all your chicken.
Here. Thanks for the food, man. Let's get back to the park.
Julian, I got a song I've been working on. Can you come to my shed and listen to it? I've been working on it like crazy.
All
You're
right.
lecturing me.
One song.
Ricky and Bubbles, as we learn, have been growing marijuana in Julian's trailer, and they didn't know that he was being released that day. Ricky learns that Lahey and Randy have also been released, and he rushes to get everything out before the police arrive.
Calm down! Just follow the list!
Follow the list! The list is fucked, buddy. We don't have time. We're only on number 2. There's 10 fucking things. You got to distract Julian, buddy, until we unfuck this up.
Lahey, still believing himself to be the park's authority figure, tries once again to put Ricky back in jail. He calls the police to come and search Ricky's trailers, which he's kept hidden behind a big wall. When George Green arrives, Ricky gives him the option to search one of the 3 trailers without a search warrant.
Bubbles, please.
What trailers are you gonna pick?
Number 1. Pick number 1.
Pick 2, George!
Search that one over there, number 3.
Pick 2! Hey, pick 2! Pick 2!
I think we'll do number 1 with the foil here.
Number
Ricky, you
1!
stay right there.
And he finds nothing, leaving Lahey embarrassed yet again.
Never again. 18 times in the past year you've called me out here. And 18... Ricky, take a walk. And 18 times, what has it been? Bullshit!
While Lahey and Randy have been away in jail, Ricky and Bubbles have seriously mismanaged the park, leaving its financial situation in a state of disarray.
By the time I got involved, it was already too late. I've just been trying to keep Ricky out of jail long enough till Julian gets here, but things got out of hand way too fucking quick. There's nothing I could do.
Ricky has put up satellites on top of his trailer, which he uses to boost the signal and deliver cheap programming to the park residents. Lahey calls the satellite company to come investigate, and they decide to sue the trailer park.
Apparently I'm being sued for stealing by some satellite TV company. Now, the bank has suggested that I might want to consider selling the park. Now, frankly, it is beginning to make a lot of sense.
Enraged by Lahey's actions, Ricky steals back the car that he gave them to use as a home.
Have a heart. This is where we live.
Leaving them with no roof over their heads.
Just
Mr. Lee, I got soap in my eyes!
This puts a strain on Randy, who leaves Lahey and decides to put himself back on the streets for money. Randy hitches a ride with Julian, who also hits rock bottom after learning that Ricky has ruined his financial future.
All the shit's in my name, man. I got no choice but to run for a little while. I'm gonna go work in an oil rig or something.
Oh, Julian, that's crazy talk.
They set off to the dumpsters behind the King of Donairs.
You're looking pretty hot. Think I'm hot?
I guess. $10.
Yeah, $10 will work.
Wanna grab a couple cheeseburgers first?
No. You got a place?
It's greasy, it's out back.
Ricky and Bubbles set out to find him, but run into his ex-girlfriend Erica, who tells him that he's in rough shape out back.
Stop staring at my tits, Bubbles.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
I was not.
They try to bring him back to Sunnyvale, but he doesn't want to go back with them. Ricky decides to hire Randy to clean up Julian's trailer, which is now completely covered in tinfoil.
He's been going around the park to people like Mrs. Peterson, asking to borrow tinfoil for different things he says he's cooking and whatnot, all fibs.
Lahey and Randy run into one another again, and Lahey pleads with him to come home to him, but he denies.
No way, Mr. Lahey. I need a cheeseburger. Come on, Bubbles.
In an act of desperate love, Lahey hunts down a blue jay and serves it over a bun topped with cheese and gives it to Randy to eat. He accepts this as a token of love, and the two make amends.
My God, there's feathers hanging out of it. That's made out of an old blue jay.
Here, Bubbles, I don't need this anymore.
You guys are fucked.
You're gonna eat that old blue jay burger. Oh.
What do you think of that, Randy?
It was good. It's good, man. A little gamey, but good.
The interesting part of Lahey and Randy's brief separation is that Randy has his limits, and they're primarily focused on his material comfort. Randy's red lines are drawn around the basic dignities of a stable life and around having a cheeseburger to eat, and when those things disappear, his loyalty begins to crack.
You're prostituting yourself out for cheeseburgers again, aren't you?
Man's gotta eat, Julian.
Later on, Lahey learns from his ex-wife Barbara that due to the park's financial situation, she will need to sell it. Unfortunately, the only people willing to buy it are Julian, Ricky, and Bubbles, who are now revealed to be owners of several fields of marijuana that Ricky was growing while Julian was away in jail.
Ricky.
At the same time, we learn that Lahey is awarded the title of Trailer Park Supervisor of the Year award and convinces Barbara to let him be reinstated temporarily so that he can accept the award. Barbara reluctantly agrees after realizing that this could increase the value of the park.
Sunnyvale can become part of the International Union. Just think what that'll do to the value of the park, Barb.
Jim, I'm not an idiot. What's in this for you?
Well, the award. Barb, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I kind of hit the bottom of the barrel lately. Look, this award is exactly what I need to get me back on my feet again, Barb.
Sunnyvale is then visited by Bernie from the IATP-TP-SATPS.
That's the International Association of Trailer Park Supervisors, and Assistant Trailer Park Supervisors.
Who are there to deliver their award to Mr. Lahey.
Calm down! You fucking calm down! Who's running this fucking trailer park?
It's community day here at Sunnyvale.
Meanwhile, Ricky, still acting as Trailer Park Supervisor, holds Community Day for Sunnyvale while Lahey and Barbara are showing Bernie around the community. They encounter Ricky, whose position is mocked by the guys in suits, after Lahey tells him that Ricky only believes that he's the Trailer Park Supervisor.
Every trailer park, as you know, has its share of troublemakers. Well, our particular troublemaker is a drunken recidivist idiot called Ricky. Been in jail 18 times. He's cuckoo. For some reason, he thinks he's supervisor of the park. Right, Barb?
Yes, that's right. He does think that.
Ricky challenges Lahey and Randy to a high-stakes wrestling match, the winner of which will determine who will take control of the park. Lahey and Randy cheat in the match against Ricky and the Green Goblin, and when the two try to even the score, they are disqualified. Lahey and Randy are victorious and are reinstated as Sunnyvale leadership once again, but this time they have their work cut out for them. Bubbles, who has been unable to take proper care of his cats due to an illness he's experiencing with an infected tooth, finds that his cats are reproducing way too quickly, creating a serious cat problem around the park.
Okay, what the fuck's been eating these?
Eating them? Cats. Randy, we gotta do something about the shit rat problem.
Lahey and Randy, who are working hard to regain control of the state of the park, decide to take the problem head on. They put on a bake sale, planning to use the proceeds to get Bubbles' cat spayed. They bring some of the cats to Sam Losco's office, where they run into the boys who are trying to get Sam to perform a tooth extraction for Bubbles. Bubbles, who is under the spell of Conky, misreads the situation and attacks Lahey and Randy.
The fuck? Julian, it must be the fumes. I'm hallucinating, man. It looks like Bubbles got wings on his back and he's strangling Mike Bullard.
Fuck, it is Bubbles. Come on.
What? Is he strangling Mike Bullard?
No, it just looks like it's Randy.
Sam shoots his dart gun at him, missing Bubbles, but hits Lahey, Randy, and Ricky. Lahey and Randy pass out at the vet. The police arrive after being called for reports of gunfire, leading Ricky to have to think fast to avoid going back to jail. They pour urine on Lahey and Randy, who are still passed out from the tranquilizer darts, to make it look like they came in here drunk and starting trouble.
Look, Bubbles had a point for his cats, and me and Julian brought him down here, and then these two idiots showed up, drunk as fuck, starting shit, mumbling something about shit wolves, and then they pissed themselves and passed out. I don't fucking know. They're fucked. You know that.
Lahey and Randy wake up in the drunk tank confused. Similar to how they ended up in jail in Season 3, Lahey and Randy often find themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time. Even when they try to do something good, like keep Bubbles' cats healthy, they will get punished by the universe.
Looks like you pissed yourself, bud.
You pissed yourself too, Mr. Lahey.
Not again.
Later on, Barbara visits Lahey and asks him about their old wedding ring. Lahey misreads this cue, believing that Barbara wants him to marry her again.
Who's getting engaged?
Oh, Randy, thanks. Just wait outside for a sec, bud. Way up here with you. Randy.
Whatever, Mr. Lahey.
In a desperate attempt to save the future of the park, Lahey decides to ask Barbara to marry him, believing that doing so would give him ultimate control of the park.
If I get to be married to Barb, I'll have total control of Sunnyvale, and then I can unleash a tsunami tidal wave that'll engulf Ricky and extinguish his shit flames forever. And with any luck, he'll drown in the undershit of that wave.
Randy, of course, objects to this idea.
Hey, I'm not the type of guy that you see on the side anymore. If you marry Barb, I will very seriously rethink our relationship.
Despite Randy's objections, Lahey decides to do it anyway, and Barbara rejects Lahey's offer, telling him that she's marrying Ricky instead.
Look, you better mix a drink or get the one you left outside, okay? Because I'm marrying Ricky, and I'm selling the trailer park to Julian, and this is 2 weeks' notice for you and Randy. You are no longer an employee of Sunnyvale. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jim, I'll pay you and Randy for 2 weeks, okay? But I need you to take this seriously. I need you out of the trailer park. I'm sorry.
Now drunk and defeated, Lahey goes back to Randy, who already has his foot out the door. Lahey watches Randy walk off into the sunset, now alone with nothing but his liquor and his darkest thoughts to keep him company. Now more drunk than ever before, Lahey sets his sights on Ricky, who he's determined to be the source of all of his problems. He approaches Julian and Bubbles to buy propane from them and starts peeing himself mid-speech, leaving Bubbles freaked out.
Propane. Time to start the game. Propane.
Lahey, you're peeing yourself.
Propane.
Here you go, Jim. Propane. There you go.
Thanks, Bubbles. Propane.
Propane. Julian, what in the fuck was he on?
Later on, Ricky and Barbara are alone in her trailer when she decides to step out for a moment, believing that she smells propane outside. Julian and Bubbles catch her out there, asking where Ricky is due to an emergency with their marijuana fields. Bubbles catches a glimpse of Lahey running into the field behind Barbara's trailer, and in the next scene, the trailer explodes while Ricky's still inside. Ricky miraculously survives the blast and is informed of the dire situation that the boys are in.
Wait a second, Ricky. Don't you think that we ought to call the fire department or something, honey?
Barb, it's a little fucking worse than it looks. Fuck it. I gotta get some cigarettes and cops and dope, and I gotta get something to eat.
The police have discovered their marijuana fields, requiring them to go harvest the remaining plants immediately before they are found. Barbara calls George Green for help and tells him that Lahey has lost his mind.
Yeah, I know, Ricky. Well, someone had to kill him, Barb.
The boys kidnap Rita McNeil and her band, forcing them to help them cultivate their plants.
Can everybody please shut up?
It's a working man I am.
There's too much fucking weed, Julie.
And I've been down underground.
You're never gonna finish this.
And I swear you God, if I ever see the sun.
It's fucking Corey and Trevor's fault.
After cultivating the rest of the weed, the boys inadvertently crash their truck into the town square, where Lahey now reappears, wearing a dress with dynamite strapped to his chest, pointing a gun at Ricky.
I'm prepared to die if it will make Sunnyvale a better place to live. I don't want to hurt anybody except Ricky. So everybody just go home and let me do what I have to do.
These are the words of a man who has lost everything and who mistakenly believes that death is the only option left. George Green tries to get through to him, reminding him that he used to be a police officer.
Don't make us shoot you. You're just drunk. You just need to sober up. You'll see how crazy all this is.
George, why don't you put down the fucking bullhorn? We're 10 feet away, for fuck's sakes.
Jim, you used to be an officer, for Christ's sake.
George, I only had 2 drinks. And like you said, I used to be an officer, George. Used to be.
George Green tells the other officers to go find Randy, and the police find him working at the King of Donaire. They bring him to the scene. Randy arrives and does what he's always done in these dire situations. Not what protects himself, not what's strategic, but what Lahey needs, which is to give words of reassurance.
You made a difference to me, Mr. Lahey. You got me off the streets once, and then I became an assistant trailer park supervisor. Please, Mr. Lahey, get me off the streets again.
Randy, I'm sorry, boy.
Need a fucking doctor over here!
But I gotta do what I gotta do.
Plead insanity, and you'll be back in the park in 6 weeks with me. Please, Mr. Lahey.
You're the only one that ever made any sense, Randy.
Let's go home, Mr. Lahey.
Randy returns in the final act simply to be the one person whose love is real enough to reach through to Lahey, reminding him that he made a difference to someone, and that's enough.
I'm really proud of Mr. Lahey. He hasn't mentioned Ricky once. That's a huge sign of improvement.
Lahey pleads insanity and is sent to a psychiatric facility rather than a prison. Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles all end up in jail at the end of the season, which means that Lahey essentially got what he's been fighting for. He achieves his stated goal and ends up in a psychiatric facility. The tragic irony at work here is that Lahey's obsession finally produces the outcome that he's always wanted, at the cost of making that outcome meaningless. But it's not entirely meaningless, because the man who walked into that psychiatric facility is only a caricature of himself. The man who walks out is something else entirely. That man has learned something, and what he's learned is patience.
I've been off alcohol for about a month, and I'm looking forward to introducing the new Jim Lahey to the boys, the gentle Jim Lahey.
Now, I've done a whole analysis of Lahey in Season 5 in the previous episode, which I recommend that you watch. While Season 5 is one of the most important seasons for Lahey's arc, it's important to talk about Randy's role in all of this as well. Season 5 begins with Lahey and Randy in a strong position once again. Lahey is out of the mental hospital and back in his capacity as trailer park supervisor. We're initially led to believe that Lahey has chosen sobriety, even going around the park telling everyone that he's given up on the liquor.
Julian, I quit drinking. Been 2 months, not a drop.
He has, boys. He's been doing great. I've never seen him better in my whole life. He's a changed man.
Randy, who has stuck by Mr. Lahey throughout his struggles, does what any good partner would do in this situation and tries to support Lahey in his new journey. This doesn't come easy for Randy, whose words alone will sometimes cause Lahey to snap at him.
You know what I think?
What do you think, Randy?
Well, I just never ever want you to drink again, Mr. Lahey, so I got these really good hypnosis.
Randy, how many times do I have to goddamn well tell you I'm sober? Who cares if I mention drinking once in a while, huh? I can't ignore an elephant in the room now, can I? I used to drink, Randy. Yes, I used to drink, and I can't do anything about that. But I got the shit monkey off my back for good.
Well, I thought you might just want to give him a try, Mr. Lahey. I mean...
Randy, do I ask you to listen to Stop Eating Cheeseburger tapes now? Do I? No, I don't. You know why? I don't fucking drink anymore. End of story.
I'm just trying to help, Mr. Lahey. Whatever.
Randy even begins to seem alerted by the stress that Lahey is under and worries that it may cause him to relapse.
Well, it's a little bit stressful, you know. I mean, Mr. Lahey's been doing really good. He hasn't had a drink since the day that he tried to kill Ricky, and he had about 49 drinks that day. But lately, he's been talking about liquor and calling me about bandy, which he normally only does when he's drunk. So just the thought of him drinking again, it scares the shit out of me.
Meanwhile, Lahey, who's suspiciously been walking around everywhere with a bottle of water, is revealed to be lying about his sobriety by Ray, who's told everyone his secret.
It's vodka.
131 proof, bud, straight up. I'm fucking wasted.
This is a defining mask-off moment for not only Lahey, but Randy as well. As we've explored in the previous seasons, Randy in the past has raised some objections to at least try to get Lahey to alter course. And Randy does raise some of the same objections this season as well, but now they're playing on an entirely different playing field. Lahey has been lying to everybody, including Randy.
Listen, I really did give up liquor, bud. Honest.
No, you didn't, Mr. Lahey. Why wouldn't you just tell me?
Shit snares, Randy.
Shit snares.
Randy has a decision here. Either step away from Lahey or go along with his plans.
Sorry for letting you down.
Didn't let me down, Mr. Lahey.
Is that some kind of test?
No. I hate those guys, Mr. Lahey. Let's fucking get them. Here.
Randy here chooses to go along with Lahey and becomes a willing participant in a plan whose consequences he cannot fully see that are set in motion by a man whose judgments he has every reason to distrust.
Why'd you let them go, Mr. Lahey?
Because they're my little shit puppets, Randy, performing in our shit play.
I don't understand, sir.
You will, Rand. You will.
Randy's decision to go along with Lahey's plan begs the question. Did Randy actually believe that Lahey had been sober the entire time? Or was the drinking a reality that he was too afraid to face? The answer to both questions inevitably leads to a tragic conclusion. If Randy was actually fooled, Lahey bears the blame of lying to him and choosing to place his obsessions over the safety and well-being of his partner. If Randy actually did know about it, then he's simply not an actor of good moral judgment, despite all of the half-measured objections that he's raised in the past. And this brings up another interesting point. Up to the moment with the big reveal, Randy has merely enabled Lahey's behavior by becoming a willing participant. What is functionally different here in Season 5 is that not only does Randy enable Lahey's behavior, he enables his entirely warped sense of reality.
It's a simple mathematical equation, man. Julian wants this trailer desperately. So, if I keep upping the price, he'll do whatever it takes to get the money. That's sexy fucking smart, Randy. Parading around in this fucking tight little fucking t-shirt. But we're smarter. You know what we're gonna do, Rand? When we get Julian behind bars, we're gonna drink this whole fucking bottle. And then...
Mr. Lahey, after everyone's gone back to jail, we're gonna stop drinking, right?
Absolutely, man.
You promised, Mr.
Randy.
Lahey.
You hear that? What were you saying?
I can't say anything. You keep saying Randy.
Randy?
Earlier in the video, we discussed Wayne Booth's idea of the implied reader, the version of ourselves that enters a story and goes along with what we're being shown. In Season 5, Randy becomes that figure, the implied reader, within the story itself.
Then we'll catch him in a shit snare. Right, Mr. Lahey?
Now this pattern will continue to escalate as the season progresses, which culminates into one of the clearest moral turning points for his character. Randy is confronted with another difficult choice to choose between being involved in murder or to step away from the situation entirely. Lahey plans to release Cyrus and his gang from jail, knowing that's going to lead to a possible shootout between his gang and Ricky and Julian. Lahey tasks Randy with getting them out of jail. Randy raises an objection, knowing that this could lead to people getting killed.
Listen, Mr. Lahey, they could kill one another.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, but we can't be involved with murder.
Exactly, Randy.
Mr. Lahey, is this you talking or the liquor?
Randy. I am the liquor.
Randy now becomes an enabler of Lahey's worst impulses and a participant in the very chaos that he once tried to contain. What is functionally different now than in the past, like in Season 3 when Lahey declares himself a police officer, is that Randy knew when to turn back. In Season 5, that instinct to turn back is now gone. He's decided to trust Lahey's process.
I'm sure Lahey called the cops, know that.
Oh, he said he didn't. He said he did something fucking even worse.
Worse? What the fuck could be worse than calling the cops?
And this is where Season 5 ties back to the larger tragedy. By this point, both Lahey and Randy are well past the point that one would consider the points of no return, that moments in tragic narratives where the hero's fatal flaw finally produces a decisive reversal of fortune and death. In a classical tragic structure, this is where the fall should come. The man who has lied, manipulated, spiraled into delusion, and dragged the man he loves down with him should now face the full weight of the consequences. But that reversal never arrives. After all is said and done, Ricky and Julian go back to jail, and Lahey is awarded a commendation for bravery by the police department. The very moment that should have concluded in catastrophe instead ends in validation. This is one of the show's most ironic structural choices. Even Shakespeare's most calculating and manipulative villains are not allowed this kind of escape. Even Iago, who we talked about last episode, who is perhaps his greatest villain of all, still meets the inevitable reckoning in the end. Tragedy, by its very nature, demands consequences.
Disregard. There's nothing going on here.
Officer down! Officer down!
But Lahey and Randy walk away seemingly unscathed after this season, and that's precisely the point. We have to remember that this is not Lahey and Randy's story. They may carry the emotional weight of a tragedy, but they remain, in structural terms, side characters within a narrative that ultimately belongs to Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles.
Hey, Lahey. Nice.
The story's reversals, its imprisonments, and its moments of closure are all reserved for the protagonist. Lahey's collapse is denied, and instead of falling, he's forced to continue, and in some ways, this may be a fate worse than death.
Giving up liquor was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. But the clarity that I feel right now makes it all worthwhile. I can honestly say I will never drink again. Ever.
Season 6 is interesting because it's the last season where Trailer Park Boys still feels and looks like the show that we fell in love with before the cameras got too good.
It's in high def, Ricky. Look how much clearer it is.
Our introduction to Lahey and Randy in Season 6 begins in a somewhat similar fashion to Season 2. A wedge has been driven between Lahey and Randy due to Lahey's alcohol problems. Randy has reached his limits with Lahey, and he tells us that he's planning on breaking up with him.
I'm breaking up with Mr. Lahey. I've tried everything with him, but the drinking is out of control. We tried the 12 steps. I even drank with him. Mixed his drinks. Tried smoking some dope with him to quit the drinking, but nothing seemed to work. He's lost complete control of this trailer park, and that's where I draw the line.
In our introduction to Lahey, we see the extent of his drinking problems. Our first meeting with him, he's passed out in the driver's seat of their car in front of their driveway with the roof of their car mysteriously missing. Lahey can't even recall what happened.
What happened to the car? Barb's gonna freak.
Jeez, Rand, I don't remember shit. What are we gonna do, boy?
Randy leaves Lahey and leaves him with some footage that he's been collecting of him during his drunken behavior.
What are you doing, Rand?
A little surveillance, Mr. Lahey.
Doing a little surveillance? Are you? Well, like a little show, Rand? Little show? A little Lahey show? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, check this one out. I'm gonna do a wraparound. Look what you made me do, Randy.
Lahey watches himself in disbelief, not even being able to remember when most of it even took place. Randy uses his newfound freedom as an opportunity to approach Barbara about being promoted to trailer park supervisor, given how bad of a state Lahey has left the park in. Barbara tells him that she would consider it if he helps her remove Ray from the park, who's been squatting on a property and leaving around his piss jugs everywhere.
Ray used to be on the road as a trucker, and that's what truckers do. They're driving along, and they've got deadlines to meet. They don't want to pull in and park their truck, walk in, take a pee in the toilet, and go back out and get in the road. They just have an old jug, and they put their bird in it, have a pee, cap it off, and once it's full, they just drill the fucking thing out in the highway. I mean, I don't agree with it. I see where they're coming from, trying to make their deadlines, but Ray's been firing them all over the park like he's still driving a truck.
Officer Ted Johnson approaches Randy before he's set to evict Ray and informs him that he's been promoted to associate trailer park supervisor, while also signaling his interest in the newly single Randy.
And I heard you broke up with Jim Lahey, and I gotta say, good for you. I don't know how you put up with that guy for so long.
It was really tough, officer.
Hey, why don't you call me Ted? And you know, Randy, I can relate. You know, I just went through a bad breakup myself. Somebody I worked with down at the station for years. But I'm doing good now.
You look good.
Thanks, Randy. Now let's go do this eviction.
With the help of the police, Randy evicts Ray in front of his family, leaving him to living in the dumps.
You know, you think you've done okay for yourself, don't you? Yeah, go climbing the social ladder. Gone from drunk male prostitute to associate trailer park supervisor. For this, Randy. Way to go, Mr. Ambition.
Later on, Randy goes around announcing a cheeseburger picnic to the park residents, inviting them to attend.
Ricky, watch the bike!
Sorry, Randy, I didn't even see it, bud.
Randy is going to use the picnic as an opportunity to establish his new control of the park. Meanwhile, a now sober Jim Lahey heads to Barbara's trailer and the two have an interesting conversation. Lahey tells her that he may have an alcohol problem, but that he also has a Julian, Ricky, and Bubbles problem.
Yeah, I've been sober for 14 hours now, Barb. I've been thinking. Everything that's ever gone wrong with Sunnyvale, everything with me, with everyone, always goes back to Julian, Bubbles, and Ricky.
And the liquor, Jim. Okay, let's not forget the liquor.
Lahey decides to address both of his problems at once and shares his plans with Barb, asking her for help to achieve his goals.
Whenever I'm sober, the boys are careful. They're scared of me because they know what I'll do, so they're cautious. It's hard to catch them. But when I'm drinking, their shit guards are down and they fuck up. But the problem is when I'm drinking, I fuck up too. A lot, Barb. I gotta be drinking, but not drinking. You see? The only way to do that is to pretend. I am gonna pretend to be drunk, collect evidence, and build a solid case against them.
His new plan to pretend to be drunk will eventually come at odds with Randy's newfound ambition to run the trailer park.
I'm going to show up today at the cheeseburger picnic, and I'm going to pretend to be a drunken idiot.
At the cheeseburger picnic, the park starts to receive a number of people showing up looking for Randy for a variety of different services. This turns out to be Ricky and Ray making prank calls from the dumps.
People started showing up, taxi drivers, plumbers, electricians, flower guy. A guy showed up with a stuffed fox for sale or something that Ricky ordered here.
Randy then establishes himself as a new authority figure in the park with the weight of the police force by his side.
I'm sure you've all heard by now that I'm the new associate trailer park supervisor. Now that I'm in charge, things are gonna change in Sunnyvale, big time. I'm gonna clean this park up. For those of you who pay your lot fees, keep your trailers in good shape, and don't break any of the rules, you've got nothing to worry about. For everybody else, newsflash, zero tolerance. Your days are numbered. I can promise, along with my friends at the police department, that you will be escorted out of Sunnyvale personally. Enjoy the cheeseburgers, everybody.
Suddenly, Lahey shows up to the cheeseburger picnic pretending to be drunk and undercuts Randy's authority.
This place is a dump. You have my permission to do whatever you want, anytime, any place, and you don't have to listen to Pill's Bandy Doughboy or Team Sexy.
Oh my God. God, what a fucking drunk horror show.
Now, something is fundamentally different about Lahey's lies at the start of this season, and the shift is actually something quite sinister. In the previous season, Lahey's deception, which included hiding his drunkenness from Randy, was framed by Lahey as a misguided attempt to keep his plans from being foiled. But now the lies carry a different weight. Now that he and Randy are broken up, Lahey decides to still try and assert his authority in the park while simultaneously sabotaging the person that he used to call his partner. If we take Randy at his word that his ambition to be the trailer park supervisor comes from a genuine desire to restore order to the park, then Lahey's actions to undermine him look like those of a man who can't stand to see his former partner try to make something of himself without him. However, something interesting happens at the end of the episode. Barbara, who witnessed Lahey's behavior at the cheeseburger picnic, tries to congratulate Lahey for his acting skills, seeming genuinely impressed by his ability to undermine and hurt Randy. Lahey doesn't seem to be thrilled by her congratulatory words and indicates that he feels pained by doing what he had to do.
Well, I think that you should get back into doing those plays at the Blandford Recreation Center. Man.
Wouldn't be the same without Bobandy.
Listen, I understand why you miss Randy. The more I get to know him, the more I respect him.
Yeah, he's 1 in a million, Barb.
And this adds another dimension to Lahey's tragic arc. One of the understated tragedies that we see is that in Lahey's obsessive pursuit of Ricky and Julian, Randy seemingly always turns out to be a casualty, even when he and Lahey are not together. Later on, we see Lahey collecting evidence on Julian, still pretending to be drunk to keep his guard down. Julian, who is busy in his new real estate business, doesn't even seem to notice that Lahey is sober.
I wish Randy and Lahey would get back together because this sexy talk is starting to drive me nuts. It's sexy this, sexy that. You smell good, Julian. He's hugging me. He actually tried to kiss me the other day.
Ricky, who is also running his own business, a recycling business, also doesn't appear to notice that something is off with Lahey.
Get the fuck out of here, you goddamn drunk fucking clown.
God bless you, boy.
We also see more of Lahey's spiteful behavior towards those that he's deemed as enemies. Randy tasks Lahey with cleaning up Ray's piss jugs around the park, and when Lahey takes the piss jugs to the dump to throw them out, he discovers that Ray is living there.
You working here now?
No, Jimmy. I live here now.
He tells Ray to tune in to Channel 5 News as they're going to be doing a spotlight on the new businesses that have started around the park, including Ricky's recycling business and Bubbles' cat daycare center, Kittyland Love Center. Before leaving, Ray asks Lahey not to tell anybody that he's living in the dump.
Jimmy, just do me one. Just don't tell anybody I'm living here, okay, buddy?
Hey, no problem, bud.
When the TV crew show up to do their spotlight, Lahey shows up in front of the cameras with a hockey stick full of piss jugs and reveals Ray's secret, choosing to kick him while he's already down.
I heard a little rumor that there's a certain ex-trucker living in the dump.
How's it feel to be a loser, eh? Living in the dump.
You'll get yours, buddy. Promise you that.
Lahey is punished for his actions in the next episode for something that he had nothing to do with. Ricky and the boys are trying to find his daughter's school project, a chicken that she has raised named Oscar Goldman. We're told that Bubbles let the chicken out of confinement due to its behavior, and he was unaware that Trinity could fail school because of it.
That's the thing, Julian. It's not about Ricky. Trinity needs Oscar Goldman today or she's going to fail grade 6. I didn't know.
The chicken happens to wander on its own into Lahey's trailer. Ricky brings Ray in on the search party, and Ray leads him to Lahey's trailer. The boys lure Lahey out of his trailer, and Ricky destroys his kitchen, unaware that Lahey had nothing to do with the chicken's disappearance.
Mr. Lahey, Julian's out here lifting weights with his shirt off and wants you to come and have a drink with him.
What's that, Trevor?
Go get him.
Shit! Yeah, boys.
What the heck's going on here?
You over here.
What?
Give me what I want and we'll leave.
What are you talking about, Ricky?
You have no idea what I'm talking about? Boys, take him in there.
What?
Know why I'm here now?
No.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna keep smashing stuff to give me what I want. I'll tell Barb you get all drunk and fucked over her kitchen. How about that?
Ricky, what the hell are you doing?
Bubbles finally admits fault, and Ricky's forced to apologize to Lahey.
Look, Jim, I'm sorry, all right? Just kind of lost control. I was worried about the chicken. And I'll give you Trevor and Corey for the day. Hopefully they can fix this place up a bit.
You're sorry.
Thanks, Dad.
The final 2 episodes of the season constitute Lahey's redemption arc, but we're also shown how Randy's continued struggles trying to fill Lahey's shoes as trailer park supervisor have begun to affect him personally. Randy has been going around evicting people from Sunnyvale, many of whom have been struggling to pay for their lot fees. One of those is J-Rock and T, both of whom have babies on the way.
Let me tell you something, little motherfucker. When you grow up, don't grow up to be like that motherfucker right there. Randy, you probably ain't even had your ultrasound yet, have you, dog? I'll give it to you right now. I hear chicken, I hear cola fizz and mustard and relish coagulating together with French fries and onion rings, Randy, but you know what? I don't hear a heart, motherfucker. Come on, ladies, let's pack this shit up.
The eviction process begins to take a toll on him, leading him to break a window out of frustration. Randy uses the opportunity to try to entrap Julian, giving him one of the recently evicted trailers for his real estate business. Knowing that Julian will need to steal some housing supplies to fix up the trailer, he follows him around trying to collect evidence on him. Lahey has been doing the same spying operations on Julian, and he watches Randy get caught for not being careful.
Randy, what are you taking pictures of me for?
I wasn't taking pictures, Julian.
Later on, Randy tells Lahey that he's evicted Bill, one of Sunnyvale's long-standing residents, leading to an interesting conversation between them in which Lahey is seemingly shocked by what Randy is becoming with his newfound power.
I want you to go down to Bill's and clean up some broken glass and take care of some stuff you left there.
Why doesn't Wild Bill clean it up himself, Randy, man?
Because I evicted him, Mr. Lahey. He wasn't paying his lot fees.
You what?
I've evicted him, Mr. Lahey.
Randy, Bill's lived in this park since before you were born. You can't treat people like that, boy.
It's hard, Mr. Lahey. I won't lie.
Yeah, see what kind of a toll that job takes on you, Randy?
Randy tasked Lahey with cleaning up the window that he broke in Bill's trailer, and in the process, Lahey finds some of Bill's old Super 8 home videos in the living room. These tapes contain the footage of what led to Lahey's original demise on Halloween of 1977, where he was wrongfully dismissed from the police department. Lahey travels to the police station to submit the tapes, and Officer Ted Johnson agrees to help him.
But you don't know anything about justice, do you? None of you do. All you know about is looking sexy in your goddamn uniforms.
Ted tells Lahey that it will be difficult to reinstate him given all of his previous actions, but that it would help if he had a character witness to help him. Lahey struggles to come up with a name, but suggests Randy as a possible witness.
Now, Jim, do you know anybody who would say anything good about you?
Andy.
This marks a significant moment in the show. When Lahey asks Randy to testify as his character witness, he refuses. Even after offering to give Randy the footage that will lead to Ricky and Julian's arrest, Randy tells him to pound sand.
I need you to testify to my character at a hearing today. Will you do that for me, Randy? For an old friend?
I don't think so, Mr. Lahey.
This is a drastic turn from what we've been shown before, which is usually Randy running back to Mr. Lahey during all of his moments of need. That does not happen this time.
I am truly disgusted at what a little bit of power has done to corrupt my Randy.
Lahey tells us that he believes that Randy refused to help him because he's been corrupted by his newfound power. This reveals that Lahey really has not properly reflected on how his actions have affected Randy, who is really just trying to move on, even if he is hitting some moral roadblocks in the process. Lahey turns to Bubbles, who refuses to help him at first, but Lahey counters and negotiates a peace treaty between him and the boys in exchange for Bubbles' cooperation. Bubbles agrees to testify before the police board, leading to Lahey finally getting revenge on George Green, who gets publicly reprimanded in front of his fellow officers.
He was your partner. You couldn't give him the benefit of the doubt?
He was my partner, but he pissed himself.
Yeah, from what I've just seen, it doesn't look like you were doing your job very well, Officer Green. It does not look like you were doing your job very... You pissed yourself!
After all of the years of public shame, of embarrassment at the hands of George Green, and after all of the years of having to carry the weight of a grave injustice being carried out against him, Lahey is finally given a moment of peace and is reinstated as a police officer.
I think that, I really believe that an injustice has been done to you, Mr. Lahey. And I feel that it's only right and fair to reinstate you as an officer of the law, effective immediately.
Chief. Jim Lahey thanks you.
Officer Lahey, Thanks, you.
Back at the park, Randy breaks into Lahey's trailer and steals the footage that Lahey tried to use to bribe him that he's been collecting on the boys and their criminal activities. As they are about to be arrested, the newly sworn-in Officer Lahey makes an appearance to honor the terms of his peace treaty with the boys and orders to let them go.
Just fucking with you, Randy.
Let it go, Randall.
With Lahey now back on the force, Randy shows up to their trailer and Barbara reveals to Randy that they want to try to work something out romantically between the three of them. While Barb and Randy are talking outside, Lahey breaks his sobriety after some drinks are left on the table. Lahey then proceeds to drink all of the liquor that's left in the kitchen. Just then, Sam Losco, who had been previously fired over one of Ricky's phone pranks when him and his father were ordering fake services to the park during Randy's cheeseburger picnic, suddenly shows up to their trailer and kidnaps Randy for $1,800 in ransom money to help pay off his legal fees. Lahey, who is now drunk and unable to handle the situation, runs to Ricky's trailer to kidnap him and orders to help him get Randy back.
Ricky, I know we have an agreement, but I will bust you for cultivation of marijuana if you don't come with me right now. Plus, I will spray you with this pepper spray and your whole family. I need your help. Get in the cab. Meter's ticking, boy.
Ricky and Lahey kidnap their taxi driver Phil Collins and they plan to flank Sam's location. Ricky falls on the hill leading up to their location and the plan gets foiled. This leads to a Mexican standoff between Sam and Ricky along with their human shields.
Look at the goddamn situation here. I have a human house. Go ahead. You can't even fucking shoot me. See that?
I don't even want to shoot you, Ricky. I just want my fucking money.
In a desperate negotiation, Ricky tells Sam that he was the one that caused him to lose his job. Lahey and Randy offer Sam $214, and Ricky offers him a pound of wheat to help him raise the money that he needs. Sam accepts, and Ricky, Lahey, and Randy all head back to the park, now seemingly holding a newfound friendship.
Thanks a lot, bud. Fun drinking with you.
Actually, I had a really good time getting drunk with you.
Give you a lift home, bud?
Yeah, sounds good. You know what, Jim? You want to quit the liquor? Start smoking dope. You buy it off me.
In the final scenes of the show, we're told that Lahey and Randy have been living together with Barbara, and Lahey has finally dropped his vendetta against the boys. Instead of drinking, he and Randy have been smoking weed, which they've been buying from Ricky. The season began with the two of them fractured, and across their character arcs, we watched as both characters try to carve out their identities independent from one another. For Randy, it's through his newfound authority stemming from his new ambition. For Lahey, it's the engine that has always driven him, which is his obsession with Ricky and Julian and his spiteful nature. And yet, by the end of the season, both men essentially get what they were reaching for. Lahey, even if his initial motives were misguided, ends the season on a new high, achieving both of his goals. One was peace with the boys, which was a solution to his original vendetta towards them, and he achieves vindication for the injustice that he once suffered. Randy, who was seeking to define himself apart from Lahey, is given the power that he was searching for as he's promoted to trailer park supervisor. But the conclusion actually undermines the idea that either of them has truly changed, or at least changed in a direction that will hold. Lahey gets his badge back and finally gets a moment of peace that he's been searching for decades, but he immediately breaks his sobriety the moment that liquor appears, unable to break from its gravitational force. Randy discovers that authority carries moral weight and consequences that he was not prepared to carry. He evicts people, he breaks a window in frustration, and he watches himself become someone that the park residents fear rather than respect.
Swear that was you, Randy. Didn't have a t-shirt on.
His ambition was real. His desire to be defined apart from Lahey is real, but the cost of these two things turns out to be a version of himself that he does not seem to like. When both characters finally find their way back to each other, it isn't through a romantic reconciliation or mutual understanding, it's through the chaos that the park brings that we've always come to expect. But the newly formed friendship between the boys and Lahey that's built on weed and trust is something that we did not necessarily come to expect at the end of the season. Neither is an ending that doesn't end in someone getting hurt or going to jail. Despite ending the season on a high note, it also marks the end of an era and an indication that things may have permanently changed. From here, Two characters that were once framed as the villains in a story are finally getting a chance to redeem themselves. Will they?
Randy.
Randy.
Season 7 marks the end of the Mike Clattenburg era and continues to give Lahey and Randy a path towards redemption. The season begins with the peace treaty between Lahey and the boys still holding up. Our introduction to Lahey is him buying weed from Ricky, but their conversation signals that the conditions around the park are putting strain on the foundation of their peace treaty.
I'm getting pretty sick of you and Randy showing up here offering me 10 or 8 or everything else. You know what? If you cops start doing your job and you bust some growers, we wouldn't have this problem. Now nobody gives a fuck about good dope. Sick of this shit, Jim. Look, let me spell it out for you. See what that says? $12 a gram, firms.
Are you selling any of this dope, Ricky?
I've sold a little bit.
Well, I refuse to pay $12 a gram when you can get it for $6 down at the mall.
Well, you know what, Jim? Go down to the fucking mall and get the shitty mall dope. You only get fucking one joint out of a gram. It's shit.
Okay. Look, I'll take 1 gram.
Across the park, financial desperation seems to be setting in. The boys are reduced to stealing meat from the grocery store. Ray is ripping copper pipes from his own trailer for liquor money, and Julian, who was once the architect of many elaborate schemes, is forced into a humiliating pizza delivery job.
What you doing here?
Just, it's this charity thing. It's a pizza run. It's for the kids. It's yeah.
Charity pizza run?
Yeah, charity.
What you talking about, you man? Last I heard, he was stealing meat. You know what I'm saying? Which is already whack. Not to mention, was with that snuffleupagus walrus-ass manatee Phil Collins.
Even Lucy's pregnancy becomes another source of pressure, demanding stability that Ricky cannot provide.
You know what, dude? As great as it is that you got all this stuff, and I know that you're trying, you know what we really need? Some money.
Lucy, don't tell me you're gonna start busting my cock, too. You know what I'm going through right now. Julian quit working for me today. I'm trying to sell this friggin' dope, but what do you do when guys are selling dope down the mall for $6 a gram? You know, shit, but people are buying it. I'm fucking trying here, Lucy.
Even Lahey, who began working as a police officer at the end of last season, is seemingly going through his own struggles. Although he's now back on the force, he appears to be getting fucked over at work by George Green, who puts him on coffee duty instead of putting him out in the streets.
Actually, you know what? Hold up, everyone! You know, Jim, there is something you can do for us.
What's that, George?
Take a run up to Horton's for the boys.
Every fucking day.
Guess you thought being back in the force would be more exciting. Double decaf, Boston cream.
And even Randy, who in the last season went from former male prostitute to trailer park supervisor and now living in a poly relationship, is still seemingly struggling with the stress of his new role, or perhaps it's something else.
Moose balls! My pants!
Lucy's pregnancy is brought into question by Ricky, who figures out that he couldn't be the father because he and Lucy had sex much too long ago for that to be the case.
Who is it, Luce? The stupid fucking idiot Dumby-cock George Green? Because it can't be me, Lucy. I checked.
He questions her about it, demanding to know who the father of the baby is. Lucy reveals that she had a moment of weakness, she banged Randy, and he is the father of her baby.
I banged Lucy and knocked her up. No big deal.
Randy tells Lahey and Barb about it, and they decide to end their relationship with him, kicking him out of their trailer. Barbara also fires Randy, a decision that Lahey seems to disagree with, but is unable to bring himself to stop her.
And Barb, your scalloped potatoes are fucked.
They're fantastic, Barb.
Later on, Phil approaches Randy about a new cheeseburger business opportunity that he wants to bring Randy in on, and Randy seems interested to be a part of it. As they're discussing the business opportunity, they observe George Green and Ted Johnson making some commotion in Lahey's trailer. When they step in to see what's going on, the two police officers knock them out and stage their deaths.
What the fuck went on in here? Some kind of a crazy lekker cheeseburger party, Ricky. Let's get them outside, boys, come on!
Bubbles discovers the 3 bodies lying on the ground and runs out to Ricky and Julian for help. The boys provide CPR and revive them from their near-death experience. Lahey plans to get revenge on the 2 police officers, so he comes up with a plan to catch them in the act, using Ray as their bait.
Well, boys, there is something we could do, but I'll be honest with you. It'd be dangerous, perhaps even life-threatening. Problem is, we need someone to put it on the line, someone with nothing to lose, someone with absolutely no hope.
Jesus, Jimmy, what the hell happened here, buddy?
The boys assist Lahey in his plan, further strengthening the newfound relationship that he has with them.
Fucking good sweat all over me, you fucking sweaty beach ball. Frig off, Ricky. Frig off, Randy.
This leads to the arrest of Ted Johnson and George Green, finally showing Lahey getting revenge on the man who caused his first tragedy and who continued to embarrass him throughout the years.
Officers Green and Johnson were lured to the Sunnyvale Trailer Park, where they were tricked into beating up a defenseless man with baseball bats because he had back spasms. And then, later on, to help sell what we clearly see are very real injuries on Ray's body, Ray had his friends beat him for real while he was drunk. Is that basically it? He staged a beating of himself?
Preposterous. Yeah, I mean, I'm not college, but you guys got books and stuff to see that this is obviously a little fucky.
Lahey now finds himself with a new promotion after the arrest of those two officers, a position that is going to be tested by Julian and Ricky, who begin to ask Lahey for more complicated requests under their peace treaty.
I've been real good to you guys, but we're gonna have to put an end to this shit.
We're all friends. He helped my dad get his rig license back, and we took out George and Ted for you.
Jim, I know shit about you, you know shit about me. That makes us shit brothers. Come on, we're shit brothers.
Don't forget you signed a peace treaty with us, Mr. Lahey.
What's going down here?
Listen, the less you know, the better, okay? That's all we can tell you.
Ricky and Julian have sent out Phil's son Jacob and his buddies out into the forest, forcing them to build long toy train tracks into the U.S. from Canada for them to smuggle weed into the U.S. Jacob and his friends disappear into the forest, and the boys request for Lahey to hold off on putting a missing persons report out for them.
This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. You find those guys real fast, or I'm gonna have to get involved in this officially. And you're not gonna like that, are you, Julian?
The boys are eventually found and safely returned back to Sunnyvale.
Come on, Jacob, let's get out of here right now. We're going right now.
Thomas.
It's okay, it's okay.
Why are you embarrassing me in front of my friends?
Jacob, go spend the day with your dad, okay?
Are you sure, Julian?
Yeah, go for it.
After the return of Jacob, Phil and Randy now focus more of their energy on their cheeseburger business, and they come up with the idea for Randy to perform a stunt for their grand opening where he will jump over a giant cheeseburger with his bike. Lucy can be seen hanging around, trying to support him in the process.
Just gotta hit the ramp a bit quicker, Luce.
Well, you know what they say, practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah,
Here,
you're
let me.
right.
I'll help you with this.
Thanks.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lahey and Barbara are starting to show cracks in their relationship as Barbara is receiving mysterious love letters from an anonymous source whom she wrongly believes to be coming from Julian. Lahey is there to witness her receive a gift and shows signs of jealousy towards Barbara, who throws it back on him.
Oh, very good impression, Jim. But you know what? You neglected to add 1 or 2 points. Like, I am in a relationship with a man who's in love with another man who eats 15 cheeseburgers a day and rides around the park high on marijuana cigarettes.
Barb, maybe you should lay off the alcohol just for a couple.
Oh, do you think? Do you think, Jim? Because you know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you, and it's it's a bit ironic actually. But since you stopped drinking, you are not half as much fun.
Barb, I'm doing my best here.
After she discovers that the gifts were not coming from Julian, she learns that they're actually coming from Sam Losco, who reveals himself to be the source after she witnesses him trying to kidnap Phil Collins for owing him money.
Sam, it's time to take a little trip downtown.
No, Jim! Let him say what's on his mind.
Fucking caves and rocks and cars with no floors and swinging from fucking buns. Shot me, you prick! It's not working.
Barb, I banged, made love to a lot of women in my life. And a couple of dudes, too, but that's not important. What's important is I can't not live with no woman but you. I love you, baby. Just you.
Sam, I might be drunk, but that is the sweetest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Come away with this old caveman, Barb, to the White Rose Inn. They got a great buffet there, baby.
Yeah, I will.
Barbara runs off with Sam Losco, leaving Lahey in the dust. Lahey tries to convince Randy not to jump the cheeseburger as he believes it is much too dangerous for him. Randy decides to do the jump, leading to him getting injured.
Oh my God, he's down!
After this, we see Lahey start to drink again. Later on, Lucy asks Randy to hang out so that she can ask him to marry her. Randy is seemingly distracted by the sound of chickadees.
It sounds like they're saying, cheeseburger.
Here the show introduces an interesting Cherokee story trope. In Cherokee stories, chickadees are known to be warning messengers, warning people of incoming strangers and even danger. The show now cuts to Lahey, who is seen drinking alone in his trailer, listening to a voicemail that Randy has left him.
Mr. Lahey, it's Randy. Guess who asked me to marry her? Lucy. I said yes, Mr. Lahey.
The voicemail pushes Lahey over the edge again, and he kidnaps Randy while he's drunk, threatening to drive his car into a cliff with both of them in it. Randy tells him to think about the park, which suddenly seems to snap Lahey out of his delusion at the last second.
Get in it, Mr. Lahey! Who'd look after the park? Look, let's just get out of the car, Mr. Lahey. Have a couple drinks, talk about this.
Worst mistake I ever made was getting engaged to Lucy.
I'll drink to that, bud.
Mr. Lahey, the car!
Ah, shit. Fucked her, bud.
The two come up with a plan for Randy to break up with her, but Randy is unable to do so as he's too afraid of her. Lahey takes it upon himself to step in, turning in Lucy into the authorities for a crime ring that she's involved with, involving stolen luggage that her and J-Rock are taking. Lahey tries to pepper spray Lucy, but ends up spraying himself and a bunch of witnesses.
Lucy, don't make me use this pepper spray on you.
You can't fucking spray me because I'm pregnant, so fuck you!
In hindsight, it's kind of suspicious that they had all that luggage, you know what I'm saying? But we didn't think to ask. We were trying to help some motherfuckers out. Look what happened.
Get your hands off me!
Lucy, you're under arrest.
After the arrest, Randy finds Lahey back at the police station. Lahey reveals that Lucy has been arrested for her crimes and asks Randy if he wants to come back to the trailer park with him.
Maybe this is fate telling you what to do. You want to go visit Lucy in jail, or maybe you want to come with me to the liquor store?
I want to go with you to the liquor store.
Good decision.
On their way out, Lahey sees a wanted poster with Bubbles' face on it, relating to an expensive train set that he's stolen earlier in the season. The poster has a $50,000 reward attached to it, and Lahey and Randy take it upon themselves to cash it in. The two surprise the boys late at night and hold them at gunpoint. Lahey breaks the peace treaty and tries to get the boys to turn over Bubbles' model train, which they're going to use to transport weed into the U.S.
What's going on here? What about our peace treaty?
Liquor's more powerful than the peace treaty, Julian. You know that. You know that, Julian.
Over the next few episodes, things will seemingly return back to normal, with Lahey and Randy once again drunk on a warpath against Ricky and Julian.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Randy?
I'll tell you who's fucking there. A drunk, washed-up police officer who arrested Lucy, put pepper all over her when she's pregnant, which is fucked, and now he's got nothing better to do than scam reward money from some stupid, dirty dancing fucking train. All to win the love of a half-naked Chia Pet guy who likes to steal other people's girlfriends and knock them up. Isn't that right, Randy? You're both dumb as fuck. You're drunk again, Jim. Big time. And you both fucking lose, and it feels great.
Doesn't feel that bad, Ricky.
After following them around for a few days, they finally catch up to the boys in the forest just after their drug deal is complete. At the same time, the American FBI shows up as they've been led on their trail by Bubbles and Conky, who called the police while Bubbles was under extreme pressure.
Yes, I'm looking for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the DEA, and the ATF. Please hold. Oh yes, I'll hold.
The boys are all caught in the middle of a negotiation between Lahey and Randy and the FBI, leading to them negotiating the terms of their arrest in order to choose which side they're going to go with.
Hey, this is the middle of the river, borderland. So basically, we can pick who busts us.
Make up your minds. Come on, we'll go easy on you over here.
We'll go easy on you over here, too, Rick. No big deal, bud. Bring the boat back over to Canada, bud.
I don't trust you. You're wasting your goddamn mind. What are you going to charge us with?
No big nothing, Rick. Just international drug smuggling. Gotta have that.
Yeah.
Rick, I'll drop all the other charges.
There's no drugs and no tobacco. It's gone. It's over. You missed it. You're stupid. So go the fuck home.
Go home?
Look, I've got 20 men in backup. I'm on overtime. I've spent my budget for the year. Helicopters. I'm in the middle of a fucking forest fire. I'm going home, but someone's going with me. Someone's got to go to jail.
Jesus Christ. Well, what the fuck do you want to charge us with?
I'm only going to charge you with stealing the Swayze Express.
How much time do you get for stealing the fucking whatever that is?
About 5-6 months tops.
Listen, if there's no international drug bust charges, I need the Tracy's Express bus. That way Randy and me get to split 50 grand and we get to meet Patrick Swayze. Because we're big fans of his, Ricky.
How fucking drunk are you right now?
6 out of 10.
What are you gonna give us for jail time, Lahey?
2-3 months, max.
Lahey negotiates a relatively light punishment for the boys, only choosing to charge them with a crime that they will only get a couple of months in jail for. At the end of Season 7, the show gives us what we've always come to expect, continuing to trap the boys and Mr. Lahey in the same cyclical pattern that we've come to know. The boys go back to jail again, and Lahey and Randy return to being the drunk antagonists. Lahey begins this season at the height of power and status, but willingly chooses to give it all up after his shot at redemption. In his own words,
"Liquor's more powerful than the peace treaty, Julian."
And while the ending here may look like a tragedy, the show actually ends the Clattenburg era on a high note. Despite the fact that everyone goes to jail, Ricky and Julian come out of it with a lot of money and a new positive outlook on life. Randy and Lahey get back together again, and Lahey reveals to us that he has decided to quit the police force.
I resigned from the force. It was too much. I was meant to be a drunk trailer park supervisor. It's what I was born to do.
The final sequence in the show is a shot of the community getting back together for one final barbecue.
Drinks on the house, everybody.
Yeah, I'd like a sauce.
Good job on the burgers there, Phil.
Grab yourself a drink, Philadelphia.
Hey, buddy!
Your name is Shitty Bill?
So in the end, the tragedy of Jim Lahey is not just a story about his addiction, his obsession, or even his failures. It's a story about perspective. From the very beginning, Trailer Park Boys taught us how to see Mr. Lahey. He's introduced as the obstacle standing in the way of the protagonist that we're meant to root for. And through the mechanisms that Wayne Booth described, through framing, through perspective, and through the show's selective interiority, we are guided towards a specific conclusion about him long before we can ever seriously think about his role. Most importantly, we fail to recognize him as the tragic figure that he has been from the start. If Lahey were the protagonist of this story, the narrative would look much different. What we would see is not a drunk antagonist constantly getting in the way of something, but a man who has lost everything on one single night, who spends years trying to reclaim his identity, and who is slowly consumed by the qualities of his self-fulfilling prophecy. Season 7 gives Lahey everything that he has been chasing: his badge, his sense of purpose, his revenge, and even the moments of peace. And yet, despite all of this, he ends up exactly where he began. Not because he was denied redemption, but because he could not sustain it, because the choices that he makes have consequences. And this is where the question of fate and self-fulfilling prophecy finally resolves itself. George Green's accusations didn't create the man that Lahey would become, just as the witch's prophecy didn't create what Macbeth would become. What it did was give shape to something that already existed within, setting into motion a series of choices that would gradually reinforce the identity until it becomes indistinguishable from its destiny. So by the time that Lahey claims that he was always meant to be a drunk trailer park supervisor, it feels like that's the case because every decision he has made it feel inevitable. But I want you to consider that this is the final trick that the story plays on both Lahey and on us. Just as Lahey comes to believe that he was always destined for this outcome, we too are led to accept it, to see his downfall not as something that could have been avoided, but as something that was always going to happen.
Sorry, Randy, why don't you ask Jim where he's been the past few nights between 3 and 5 and 9 to 11:15. Go ahead and ask him. Ask him where he goes.
He's playing bridge out the hospital, Ray.
Brian Bridge, my arse. He's going down to the strip club, getting drunk every night, telling everybody he's off the booze. Yeah. You know why, Randy? Because Jim Lahey is a fucking drunk, and he always will be.
But as we've discussed before, that belief is not neutral. It is the result of the same narrative framing that taught us to laugh at Lahey in the first place. And here we have two choices. If we accept Lahey's fate as inevitable, we virtually absolve him of responsibility. If we reject his conclusion, we are literally cutting against the grain of the narrative. If we reject the conclusion, we have to confront that at every stage of his life, there were moments where things could have gone differently, where he could have made different choices.
Simply came down to two choices, so I resigned.
Season 7 makes the latter parts of this dilemma painfully clear because for the first time ever, Lahey is given everything he thought he needed to become himself and still chooses to return to the person that he's always been.
The liquor's gonna let you down, Jim.
The liquor's gonna let me down, Julian?
Haven't you learned any lessons about you drinking and dealing with us? This is gonna come down to one big goddamn fucking horror show, Lahey, and it is on now.
And so, the tragedy of Jim Lahey is not that he was doomed from the beginning. The tragedy is that he's convinced himself, and us, that he always was.
You're the best assistant trailer park supervisor anybody ever had. You get up in the morning and make me my coffee, and you go to the commission, Ran. Now, fucking camera, where What is the objective? What do I want at this moment? At this moment, I would like to entertain you. I would like to expostulate. I would like to, well, in a way, I'm prevaricating. This is all a lie. It is all an illusion. It is like the vapor. You see, I have no lines written for me right now. The only lines I have are the tired lines of my existence, which too soon will come to a close. And the last scene of all in this strange, eventful history is second childishness, mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans taste, sans eyes, sans everything.
Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull our mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go?
Oh, the summer time has come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Oh, will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Oh, will you go, lassie?
Everybody? I'm gay.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the Tragedy of Jim Lahey. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know which part of the video you enjoyed most down in the comments section. I do try to read all of the comments even if I cannot always respond. Thank you again and see you next time. Peace.